Our production department really kicked it into gear this season, and we finished before we thought we would, and we'd like to keep our people working until the snow flies, so we're going to offer a discount. Now, a lot of discounts you hear about, they're just off an already inflated rate that ends up right in the same slot as everybody else. In this case, because we're past our break-even point, we can offer a real discount. And here it is. We can afford to take 10% off your roofing project if you call and sign up before the end of the year. If we can't get to it because the weather turns south on us, we'll still hold your price for next year. And this isn't some fugazi discount. It's 10% off what our pricing would normally be. It's for roofs only, and it expires at the end of the year. So take advantage of a nice discount on top quality workmanship from good people who care. We're Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm and dry, Semper Fi.
Keeping you informed, keeping you safe, keeping you engaged and entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 9 o'clock, it's 40 degrees. Rain should move out of the area in a couple of hours. Still a little drizzle until then. A high of 44 today. Breezy overnight with a low of 34. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts. The community of Waukesha gathering to reflect and remember this evening on the two-year anniversary of the Christmas parade tragedy that took the lives of 6 and injured more than 60 others. At exactly 4:39 p.m., the city will commemorate a new memorial at the 5 Points intersection downtown. Alderwoman Alicia Havensleben tells Wisconsin's Morning News safety for those in attendance will be a top priority tonight.
I know that initially a lot of folks felt kind of weird or strange or afraid to go down onto Main Street. But I've really seen that change, and it changed pretty quickly because we came together as a community to make sure that we were putting things in place to help protect the community.
Families of those who passed away are expected to speak. The Dancing Grannies will also be in attendance tonight. And coming up this evening on What's on Tap, WTMJ's Sandy Max will speak with the architect of the new memorial, Jeremy Bartlett. An Amber Alert remains in effect for 2 boys from Plover, Wisconsin. Alexander and Stefan Sjong were last seen Monday. They're believed to be in the company of their father, Yemen. He left Plover around 8:30 a.m., heading to an unknown destination. His Toyota Sienna with license plate 740XTN was observed in Clinton, Iowa around 4:15 p.m. yesterday. For more information, you can text ALERT ALERT to the Old National Bank talk and text line 855-616-1620.
So help me God.
History in the Wisconsin courts as Pedro Colon becomes the first Hispanic judge on the Wisconsin Court of Appeals. Judge Colon previously served in the state assembly. He tells TMJ4 News what drives his passion in public service.
Policy and law are so intimately related, and that courts are really a place of service, a place where people come to litigate and dispute things that are very important to them.
Judge Colon was appointed by Governor Evers to replace Judge Timothy Dugan. UW health officials say antibiotics are on a trajectory to become less effective over time. Dr. Michael Puglia tells WISC-TV in Madison what patients are currently experiencing when prescribed antibiotics.
Patients have been affected by resistant infections that have been quite serious and difficult to treat. So, of course, there's a lot of concern that this is a trend that could be increasing over time.
Dr. Puglia says to exercise caution when taking an antibiotic for a respiratory tract infection. Developing story in Colorado, police in Custer County say a land and property dispute led to gunfire, which left 3 people dead, another critically wounded.
Police in Custer County, Colorado say a land and property dispute led to gunfire, which left 3 people dead and another person critically wounded. Sheriff Rich Smith.
The suspect and at least one of the victims have been in previous civil disputes about property lines and easements.
Police are looking for the shooting suspect, a 45-year-old man. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
And today expected to be the first big day of the Thanksgiving holiday travel rush. Airports will be especially busy this year. More from ABC.
If we have an airport that we expect to be particularly busy, like Las Vegas Airport after the F1 event over the weekend, we ask officers to volunteer from across the nation to go to Las Vegas, for example, spend some time there to help out our team. So we augment where we need to.
That's TSA Administrator David Pekoski speaking with Good Morning America. Airline travelers encouraged to give themselves as much as 3 hours to make their flights on time. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Still a tough start to the day for the majors. The Dow Jones down 78 points to 35,073 this morning. The S&P 500 down 12 to 4,535. And the Nasdaq's down 74 points on the morning to 14,209. It's time for the Annex Wealth Management Tax Smart Planning Review. They'll review, assess, and provide strategies you can use. Go to annexwealth.com/taxsmart. No magic could save the Wizards from the Bucks last night. 3 teams in that tease. Did you notice that? We'll have a check of your sports, plus the roads and your weather coming up. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 9:05.
Take your home from clean to immaculate. Save up to $100 on select models right now at West Bend Vacuum Center, including central vacuum systems, HEPA vacs, and cordless vacs. Save even more when you trade in your old vacuum. Shop Sebo, Mila, Simplicity, and Riccar vacuums. Don't miss the big sale going on now at West Bend Vacuum Center. For an exclusive pricing on everything through Christmas, visit westbendvacuum.com or call 262-335-2222.
You can find affordable holiday decor at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Find cute Christmas decorations, ornaments, trees, and home decor, all at thrift store prices. Gift cards are also available for that shopper on your Christmas list. You'll never overspend on holiday items from St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
R&R Insurance does an exceptional job of providing employee benefits to all of us here at Good Karma Brands. Companies are starting to plan for fall enrollment for their workforce. Here's Jeff Salasinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Thanks, Vince. A benefit understood is a benefit appreciated. Knowing how to best communicate your benefits will help your employees understand their options, guide their decision-making, and increase their sense of value and engagement. In this tight labor market, businesses need to know how to use their benefit program to attract and retain employees.
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
At R&R Insurance, we help employers brand their benefit packages in a customized, easy-to-understand fashion, taking out the complex and confusing nature of shopping for health insurance. With our latest mobile technology, your employees will have easy, immediate access to benefit information for themselves and their families 24/7. At R&R Insurance, we know employee benefits.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update.
The Milwaukee Bucks made it 5 straight wins as Giannis drops 42 and the Deer casting a spell on the Wizards in Washington, winning by a final score of 142-129.
Giannis now, a little hesitation. He'll take it inside, and there's no stopping that freight train. Giannis flushes it through with a big swooping jam.
Chris Middleton also added 18. He passed Sidney Moncrief for 4th place on the Bucks' all-time scoring list. Next up for Milwaukee is a primetime showdown in Boston on Wednesday night. To the NFL, where a rematch of Super Bowl 57 did not disappoint on Monday night as the Philadelphia Eagles soared past the Kansas City Chiefs in a thrilling Monday night football game, winning by a final score of 21-17. And lastly, in college hoops throughout the state, number 4 ranked Marquette beat UCLA 71-69, and the Badgers knocking off Virginia by a final of 65-41. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
Taking a look at your roads, your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. It's just a bit slow on 43 South right now, just south of Silver Spring to about Locust. You'll be tapping the brakes. It's about a 16-minute drive right now from Brown Deer into the Marquette. And the rest of the system overall looking good as far as travel times. Just be mindful, roads will still be slick as rain starts to move out of the area. So just take a couple extra minutes and be very diligent with your braking out on the system.
Traffic is sponsored by Hiller Ford, a family-owned dealership on Highway 100 in Franklin.
Looking to buy a new vehicle but have past credit issues? Don't worry. Hiller Ford accepts all credit applications. Ford Credit is aggressively approving loans with no rate increase.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast: rain starting to work its way out of southeast Wisconsin. We'll see a few more showers this morning, then mostly cloudy and windy this afternoon, a high of 44. Breezy overnight tonight, a low down to 34. Mostly sunny for your Wednesday, a high of 46. Thanksgiving Thursday looks mostly sunny and windy, a high of 45. Cool down to 40 and mostly sunny on Friday. Continued sunshine on Saturday, but much cooler, a high in the mid-30s. Right now in Madison, cloudy skies and 34. Light rain in Green Bay and 36. Rainy in Waukesha and 35. And in Milwaukee, light rain and 40 degrees. I'm Adam Roberts, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 9:09.
Good morning, Wisconsin. It's WTMJ Now. News, opinions, Wisconsin. Everything you need to know in the Badger State and beyond. Come give us your thoughts on the Old National Bank talk and text line at 855-616-1620. Old National Bank. Get old. Here's your host, Steve Scaffidi.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of the Big Show here on WTMJ Now. News, opinion, Wisconsin, why it matters, all of that and more. Some serious, some fun. I'm starting with this today. I saw this story, and it bothers me. Now, I don't want to make this one of those weird War on America stories that, frankly, talk radio folks and some of the news talkers on television get all wrapped up in with the military jets flyover video and all that stuff. Not that I don't love a military jets flyover. Love it when they do it at the Packers game at Lambeau Field. That's not what I'm talking about. What I am talking about is a sort of reluctance by, and I don't want to make this generational, but I think it is. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, 855-616-1620. It is the lack of civic pride, patriotism that's on full display every day in this country. And I've noticed this with the war between Israel and Hamas and the fact that too many Americans are too willing to give up on Israel, forget the lessons of the Holocaust, act like it didn't happen. And then I saw this story from Massachusetts, Wellesley, Massachusetts. Local high school canceling a USA-themed day of Spirit Week, and everybody's kind of familiar with that story, right? High schools celebrating, usually homecoming. At Wellesley, apparently they do a Thanksgiving week football game, and they dress up. They have costumes on some days. They have a Throwback Thursday, Wild West Wednesday. I'm surprised that one's still good. And this year, the school's student unification program, so bringing people together, right? That's the idea. Coming up with these daily themes, they came up with a USA Day, which was quickly shut down, by the way. According to the student member of the student unification program, the administration was not going to let this happen, direct quote. It wasn't a topic for discussion. The administration went on to say this. They said it was not allowed because it separated people at the school. Principal Jamie Chisholm apologized for the pushback the decision created, explaining in a letter to the community, the high school administration decided not to go forward with that spirit theme because it felt really different than the other themes kids came up with for that week. My words, so what? You're not proud to be a U.S. citizen, proud to live in the United States of America where more freedoms exist than probably any place on earth? The principal went on to say, we felt that the topic has been politicized beyond our school and we wanted to avoid politics. Patriotism isn't and shouldn't be politics. Back to the principal, we had Mismatch Monday. Oh, clever. Tropical Tuesday, I guess that means Hawaiian shirts. Western Wednesday. Team Jersey Thursday. And the replacement for from the student unification idea of USA was Fitness Friday. So, what's this about? Why is this happening? Now, it's healthy to question government, and everybody from the most right-wing conservatives to the left-wing liberals do that every day. That's a healthy democracy. Where it falls down for me, and perhaps you, is 855-616-1620, the Old National Bank talk and text line. when we are afraid, apparently, or unsure if we should choose to not celebrate days that typically revolve around patriotism, 4th of July, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, others. What's this about? Why? I'll give you some thoughts on this after the break, but I'll go into break with this. We have a real problem in this country with setting a tone. We are so afraid of offending people. We are so over-responsive to one person complaining or a few people in a vast, big, large community that we go overboard to compensate. And I would argue that it's ruining this great country that we call the best place for freedom on the planet, the most accepting. Still, the destination for students from around the world, immigrants from around the world. That's a problem in my mind. What do you think? 855-616-1620. I hesitate to say this, but really, this is what it is. Is it a war on patriotism? I think it is. What do you think? After this.
More of WTMJ Now after this.
Do you check your savings account and wonder if you're even saving at all? At Town Bank, we view banking differently and actually want to see your savings grow. With our amazing new CD rates, you can now earn even more, so you can sit back and relax. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results, and start earning more. Go to townbank.us/locknewrates or visit a Town Bank branch nearest you today. Bank differently with Town Bank. Member FDIC.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Advent. I've told you about the tossing and turning, the restless nights of sleep. That does not have to be your story. It's not mine anymore. I don't wake up tired or grouchy, which is a good thing. I went to Advent, one of their beautiful facilities, and in about 30 minutes, they figured it out for me. We added in a simple sleep study at home in my own bed. They determined my problem, sinuses, nasal passages in my breathing triangle. After a short procedure done in office, back to breathing better than ever. My wife and I, Kathy and I, sleeping through the whole night. That is worth the investment, trust me. Everybody's different. Everybody's solutions are different. But this is a really great way to impact your life and your health, by the way. If you struggle like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your nights better, go to AdventKnows.com. Schedule an appointment today because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Get ready for Black Friday at Fleet Farm. Doors open at 5 a.m. Friday with a free plush pig for the first 500 customers. Inside, enjoy big deals on big brands, like a Blackstone 28-inch griddle for $179.99. 40 pounds of sunflower seed are $16.99. And take 10% off all shotguns, rifles, and pistols, excluding Glocks. Get unbeatable Black Friday deals on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm.
It's WTMJ Now.
Is it a war on patriotism? I don't know what it is, but it bothers me. If you listen to the show, and I've been doing this show in various forms and formats for almost 7 years, I'm proud of this country. I fly a flag when it's appropriate, and I would argue that if I had a flagpole, I'd fly one every day. Maybe that's something I should put on my bucket list, getting a flagpole. But it bothers me that, and I'll just give you a couple examples. On days where we're supposed to celebrate our civic pride, the programmed holidays, I see very few flags in front of people's houses. It bothers me that schools think that a USA Day is somehow offensive or politicizing. The bottom line is we live in a country of freedoms. We celebrate a lot of different things, including the diversity and inclusiveness that has, I think, transformed our country. We are a country of immigrants. Now, the nature of those immigrants has changed from Europe to Central and South America, other places. South Asia, India, China. So that nature of that story has changed. But the great thing about it is we have been able to figure things out until now. That somehow, and in this case of a Massachusetts school is a great example of this, we're almost afraid to show our civic pride, almost afraid to be patriotic. And I don't get it. And I don't understand it. Because last time I checked, this is still the place in this world where people want to come to appreciate and celebrate freedoms they don't have in other places in the world. Bob joins us from Waukesha. Welcome to the show, Bob. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Steve. How are you today?
I am good. I am worried a little bit about our civic pride in this country.
I have to tell you, as you encouraged a couple of weeks ago when Gary Sinise visited your show, I'm holding the book Grateful American. And being a Vietnam veteran, I would encourage anyone that questions their patriotism, and I have done that. There's a certain politician that is it's my fault. It's not his fault. It's my fault.
Right.
But as a result of him, I have questioned my patriotism. But I would encourage anyone that questions their patriotism to read Grateful American by Gary Sinise.
Great recommendation, Bob from Waukesha. I've just ordered that book. So, yes, that's an individual who didn't serve, by the way. We had him on the show. Sandy Max and I had him on the show. And he talked about that and how he shaped his life working on behalf of first wounded veterans, then all veterans, because of what he heard from family members and neighbors. Richard joins us from Oshkosh. Welcome to the show, Richard. Good morning on WTMJ Now.
Morning, Steve. How you doing?
I am good.
It's a great topic.
Thank you.
I'm a retired civics teacher, and I have a pretty good number of examples to give you. But the real problem is this: we don't in the schools. We don't teach kids how to conceive consent, how to do consensus. In other words, let's sit down. We may have different points of view, but we're going to see if we come up with a common kind of understanding about this. And so what happens is, and I have my own family, we have a rabid Republican in our family. You can't tell him anything. You can't even ask him a decent question, or he's after. He is determined to make sure that we follow what he wants done. His is the only way. It's either my way or the highway. We have lost an incredible amount of ability. Hold on, I got my wife right here at the window. Yeah, I'm on the telephone to Milwaukee. I'll be with you shortly.
There you go. There, you're telling the wife that you're busy right now.
She's leaving. She's leaving. Yes, right.
That makes for some great radio, Richard. Thanks for doing that.
And I would share with you a quick story. This is about 10 years ago. I can't sub anymore. I can't reach the kids anymore. I'm too old.
Why is that, Richard? Though you still have the important information that you could present to them. Why would you say that?
Well, because they look at me and I'm an old guy. I'm going on 88 years old, Steve. And I'm an old guy and I'm a veteran. But it doesn't mean a thing to him. And then I'll give you two quick stories. Number one, in that class, we said the Pledge of Allegiance because it's the law, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And as we're sitting down, some 15-year-old sophomore says to me, Mr. Scheller, what do those words mean? And I said, well, it's your Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Yeah, but what does it mean? No one had ever gone over and literally explained what the words meant. It was just recited. And if you recited it, that's supposed to make you a great patriot. And so we spent the whole class period, and it was a real revealing thing to these kids when they said, we said about liberty and justice for all. What does that mean? And it was a very, very it was a great learning experience for that.
Thanks for the call, Rich. I'd let you go there. But there's somebody who was a civics teacher and saw it firsthand. I'll take another break here. I'll continue the conversation. I think it's an important one. Can it be fixed? Sure. Well, we've certainly encouraged dissent in this country to the point where now our allies in Israel are feeling a little bit like, not absolute, because there's still a lot of Americans who support Israel, but like they're being dismissed or disregarded because of their actions against Hamas. And I think there's legitimate concern that we should all have that if a day that celebrates the country we live in is somehow controversial, that a high school can't celebrate it, it's part of a spirit week, then we've got big problems in this country. Got a lot of phone calls on this, lots of text as well in the Old National Bank Talking Text line. You can get involved, 855-616-1620. That's the Old National Bank Talking Text line on WTMJ Now.
More of WTMJ Now after this.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, best-selling author, and founder of the Neal Group, with over 40 years of experience helping businesses make money and keep it. 2023 is almost over. How are you doing? Do you even know how you are doing? Do you have money in the bank? Are you getting the advice you need to minimize your taxes and put more money in your pocket? Do your calls get returned and questions answered? We help you look at your numbers and understand what they mean. How would you like an extra $10,000 or $100,000 in your pocket? We can help you now, before the end of the year. Using tried and true strategies, we have helped countless businesses increase their profits and lower stress. Our Neal deal guarantees you'll increase your profit or you don't pay us. Really. If you want to get started on the road to making more money and having less stress, visit nealgroup.net right now. That's NEAL group.net. The first meeting is free to see if we can help. Again, nealgroup.net.
They said man would never fly.
They said Everest could never be conquered.
And they said nobody would ever be able to design a sofa sleeper without uncomfortable bars and trampoline webbing.
They did.
And they were wrong, because Penny Mustard's designers and builders have done the unthinkable with the Perry Sofa Sleeper.
We didn't just raise the bar, we removed it completely.
No painful bars in the middle of your back.
But the story doesn't end there, because the Perry Sleeper Sofa also features a Tempur-Pedic mattress option.
And the Perry's mattress is 5 inches longer than standard sofa sleeper mattresses.
Tall sleepers rejoice.
It's a sleeper sofa your guests will be fighting over.
They said it could never be done.
Well, they need to see the Perry Sofa Sleeper, starting at just $208 a month with only 1 penny down and no interest until November of 2025 through November 26th at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
WTMJ Now.
WTMJ Now with Steve Scaffidi on this Tuesday. I got this text on the Old National Bank Talking Text, and I agree with you. However, there's a difference between patriotism and virtue signaling. Well, virtue signaling is sort of the excessive demonstration to prove that your values, your character is the best ever. You see it with, whenever I see somebody that, like an elected official that has like 18 flags behind them instead of just 1 or 2 that they really need, it's an attempt to, I think, overdo it. We get it. You're patriotic. That's a great thing. I'm glad you have the flag up on the stage with you. Do you need 18? Do you need 24? Do you need 50? Or you see it a lot with radio jocks who have their image and imagery is filled with like flying jets and I get it. Often, by the way, people who didn't serve. And to be honest, I haven't served. But I also have a father who served in the Air Force and a brother who served in the Navy and other family and neighbors who also served. So I understand, and I have a commitment to veterans that I think I will never give up on. And I said this at Deer Camp this week. Veterans in this country have been disrespected in a lot of different ways. And look no further than wounded vets. It is absolutely incredible that they are not first in line for any medical treatments for the rest of their life. They put their life on the line for this country. And we disrespect them by making them jump through hoops or wait excessively. That's not acceptable, and I will fight for that till my life is over. Back to the phone calls. Mike from Illinois joins us. Hey, Mike.
Good
morning, Steve. Happy Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
You as well. What do you think?
Thank you, sir. I have so much to say here. Hope I get a little extra time. First of all those days that those schools have are great, but for Friday, it should be Freedom Friday, because I don't know anyone who doesn't like freedom, especially people that come from oppressed countries. And this is not an oppressive country. We treat our citizens well. We treat other countries well. We give a ton to our own citizens and to other countries. I don't see anyone lining up to leave this country. I am very proud to be an American. I have to say that growing up, I really didn't understand, wasn't grateful a lot because I really didn't understand everything. The older I get and the more I study history, the prouder I am. I fly my flag from Memorial Day till Thanksgiving Day because I want to acknowledge the veterans, of course. I want to acknowledge the 4th of July, the sacrifices the Founding Fathers made. I want to acknowledge Veterans Day, and I want to acknowledge Thanksgiving because that was the beginning of our country, the origins of our country. I think it's always been, in on the left to criticize this country. And I never really hear them criticizing other countries. But I don't, like I said, I don't see anyone lining up to leave this country.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Mike. It's not just the left. I'm refreshing my list of things that we can't trust anymore in this country, according to some people, including now the N.O.W, apparently for what some people say is misleading data about climate change. Look, if the right says we shouldn't trust the Department of Justice or the FBI, the CIA, or whoever, presidents, pick something, and the left totally disrespects the history and the freedom-loving aspects of what is, I think, is still the greatest country on this planet, we've got a bigger problem. It's not one side. It's both sides. And save me the fake patriotism. Talking a good game. I don't need that. But when I see examples like the high school in Massachusetts who are abdicating their responsibility to teach our kids civics, we just had a teacher on earlier, the importance and the differences in this country versus other places. In other places in this world, you can't speak out. Many cases, you can't wear what you want to wear. You can't show your hair in some places. Women can't. Even women that aren't Muslim. Think about that for a second. Women treated as second-class citizens. Is this country perfect? No, of course not. But it's still, I think, the greatest example of freedom in this world, and I think it will be for a long time. And it's worth fighting for. And when I see decisions made like this in high schools or colleges, when I see people pushing back on the right of a country like Israel to defend itself from heinous attacks, I worry about the future. And we need to teach our young people. There is a distinction, there is a difference that is worth fighting for. My words. I think somebody else said it even better.
Let that be understood by those who practice terrorism and prey upon their neighbors. As for the enemies of freedom, those who are potential adversaries, they will be reminded that peace is the highest aspiration of the American people. We will negotiate for it, sacrifice for it. We will not surrender for it now or ever. We are Americans.
More of WTMJ now after this.
Set your game plan for a new baseball season with the 2024 Brewers 4-Pack. Don't wait. Get yours by November 27th and get a 5th game added to your plan for free. That's 4 action-packed plan choices, your first chance at the best seats, and a bonus Brewers game free for early buyers. Plus, each pair of a 4-pack comes with a Brewers knit hat. Act now and get this limited time offer at brewers.com/4packs.
Hey, WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi for Heiser Automotive. You know I love talking about Heiser. I had the honor and privilege of driving their great vehicles. Right now, driving a 2023 Ford Explorer XLT, 4-wheel drive, perfect for all that winter weather that's coming, and you know it's coming. Got to know it a little bit this week with some long-distance driving on my way to deer hunting. Loaded, right? Great gas mileage, by the way, 25 plus on my trip, which is awesome for an SUV. It's got all the cool new features, right? Heated exterior mirrors. How cool is that? Roof rails, keyless access, second row captain's chairs, and a third row of seats that fold down, which is very convenient. Lane keeping system, blind spot information. How about this? Active park assist. I don't need it, but you might. 360-degree camera, split view display, all the technology. Go see for yourself. 5 great locations. Go to HeiserFord.com. Check out their inventory. See if you want to test drive a Ford Explorer XLT. You can build one exactly the way you want to. That's why they say every day, folks, at Heiser, today is your day.
Giving food to the hungry, water to the thirsty, shelter for the homeless, care for the sick, clothing for the poor, and visiting those in prison. These are the mercies Jesus mentions as he separates the sheep from the goats on Judgment Day. Are we saved because we did those things? Or did we do those things because we were saved? Loving mercy. This week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
WTMJ Now.
Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list. And the Statue of Liberty started shaking her fist. And the eagle will fly, and it's gonna be here when you hear Mother Freedom start ringing her bell.
Celebrating freedom on this Tuesday. I don't want to be accused of virtual signaling. I'm not. Texter made that point. We're just proud of our country. We've done incredible things. I spent a few weekends ago watching the Band of Brothers on TV, and it tells the story, of course, of the Normandy invasion and everything that happened after that to the eventual surrender in Europe, Hitler's death by suicide, all of that stuff. And I thought to myself, these are regular Americans who did incredible things. And I'm not a civics teacher. I had a minor in history. I love talking about history. I love reading about history. And I certainly love visiting sites. I was just at Normandy in December of last year that have mattered, including the beaches of Normandy, where I walked on the same beach where Americans and other countries' soldiers were killed. It's an incredible experience. And I worry for our country that we are losing track of that. And I've mentioned a few examples: the decline of support for Israel, the lack of understanding about what this actually is, the lack of understanding about what it means to be American, to be proud of the differences, the democracy that we celebrate, the freedoms that we enjoy, all of that stuff. It bothers me that we are not understanding why those differences are there in the first place, and we're not celebrating those differences. When I see a story from a high school in Massachusetts that throws it away like it's garbage because it's politicized, you've made it more politicized by your actions. You could have had a day where kids celebrated their country, wore red, white, and blue, whatever they wanted to do, face paint, whatever. Instead, you made it about politics. Dave joins us from Franksville. Welcome to the show, Dave.
Good morning. I agree with you. I think we should, for the most part, be patriotic whenever we can. One thing that bothers me a little bit is that if you question anything regarding this country or anything, you're called unpatriotic. And there's times, are we the best country in the world? I think we are, but are there things we could do better? And if you question anything, you're not a patriot. And there are countries in Europe that do things much better, certain things. And I think we need to be open to discourse. Don't be unpatriotic, but could we do things better? I mean, sometimes the people that say they're the most patriotic, I mean, they flow the flag and everything, and then they're the ones that end up having bone spurs and don't have to serve.
It's a great point, Dave. Thanks for the call. It's a great point. We're not perfect. We're 50 states, one country, who are trying to figure it out. In a world where, let's be honest, terrorism in many places is winning the day. where people are subjected to absolute horror, mistreatments, lack of freedom every day. And we're trying to do something about it. And we are defending those freedoms for other people when we could just pull back and say, we'll just do our own thing. But that's not the way we should look at it, because if we do that, we will lose the world war and we'll see the rise of terrorism like we've never seen it before. My opinion.
Come on, man.
Rome joins us from the east side. Hey, Rome.
Give it up.
Rome.
Good morning. How you doing? Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
You know, I'm going to tell you, we're in a sad state because we've become cowards here in this country when it comes to standing up for what's right. You know, when things like that happen, all we have to do is, think of what is the right thing to do. And I think that so many things are just sliding past, and we're just dumbing down our society to the point that, we're in the situation we're in now, and it's only getting worse as far as I can see. But when you see the day-to-day things that's happening in this country, and we know that they are wrong, people are too coward to stand up and do the right thing. And I think this is another case.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Rome. I mean, yes, we should be stand up. Absolutely. I'm so frustrated by elected officials and politicians who say things they know are not true because their base, left or right, liberal or conservative, wants to hear it. It's lazy. It's not leadership. It's entertaining in some fashion, but also dangerous in another. Great text from the 262. Hey, Steve, G from Brookfield, proud Sikh American. I'm a patriot, and I show my American colors with pride. USA has given me everything. I have a red, white, and blue colored turban I wear with pride. Yes. And unfortunately, Sikh Americans have been targets of hate. And yet, G from Brookfield says, you know what? Still going to fly my flag. And by the way, my friends in the Sikh community are some of the most patriotic Americans I've ever met. Also the most compassionate. From the 414, Steve, that good old American sentiment from the baby boomer generation might work for the older generations, but for us younger, it doesn't have the same luster. You're talking about generations that grew up during Vietnam and Iraq, not World War II. It's just different now. All right, so 414, how do we fix that? And I do have a sense that school districts, and probably more importantly school boards who are going to direct those school districts, are starting to understand the significance of this argument. We've kind of gotten away from the civics education. We've gotten away from the things that are the core elements of what makes this country great. And we filled it with fluff, social experimentation, and a lot of other courses and curriculums that don't, frankly, make us a better country. Doesn't mean there's not value in those discussions. There are. And diversity is important. Inclusivity is important. And we should never forget that. But if that's all you have and you don't have that base core element of what makes this country different and great, you really don't have a foundation. From the 414. Steve, I believe patriotism starts at home. My parents taught us to respect and love our country. My ancestors fought in every war since the American Revolution. My mom especially made sure we knew and appreciated the great country we live in. I continue that with my children who are now grown. One son served in the Army Reserves. God bless America. It doesn't have to be hard. It shouldn't be hard. And for parents of young children, here's the easiest way to start. Most communities have celebrations or days of honoring veterans, right? Some have a parade. Some have a Veterans Day ceremony. Memorial Day, remembering our fallen heroes who gave their lives for their country. All of these things are happening around us. Whether if it's not in your community, it's the one next to you. Take your kids. Explain to them what's happening. And this is not intended to make fun of younger generations, but there's a hell of a lot more going on in this world than what you find on TikTok. And if I hear one more adults or someone my age tell me why I need to be on TikTok, I'm going to lose my you-know-what mind. It's not helping. Is it amusing? Sure. But there's a dangerous element to it. You are subjecting our young people, our young children, to things they don't need to see, that are now encouraging positive social development, positive cognitive development, and you're exchanging that for the bizarre and the absurd and the silly and the stupid. For what reason? Because you have a smartphone and you need something to watch on it? There's a time in our near future we're going to see 5-year-olds walk around with smartphones. And to that I say, what the hell is wrong with us? We'll take a break here. You can join the conversation. 855-616-1620. Got a ton of texts. I'll go through some of those after the break. You're listening, of course, to WTMJ Now.
More of WTMJ Now after this.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Our production department really kicked it into gear this season, and we finished before we thought we would. And we'd like to keep our people working until the snow flies, so we're going to offer a discount. Now, a lot of discounts you hear about, they're just off an already inflated rate that ends up right in the same slot as everybody else. In this case, because we're past our break-even point, we can offer a real discount. And here it is. We can afford to take 10% off your roofing project if you call and sign up before the end of the year. If we can't get to it because the weather turns south on us, we'll still hold your price for next year. And this isn't some fugazi discount. It's 10% off what our pricing would normally be. It's for roofs only, and it expires at the end of the year. So take advantage of a nice discount on top quality workmanship from good people who care. We're Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Hey, it's WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi for Annex Wealth Management. If you're feeling unsettled about the markets, the wars, and the economy in general, put a pro on your side. Annex Wealth Management is a clear choice for today's environment. Maybe you're working with someone else. They might be doing their best, but you need a higher level of service. Nothing wrong with having Annex look at your current plan for a fresh perspective. An investment retirement plan built by the fee-only fiduciaries at Annex Wealth Management makes sense on so many levels. If knowing where you are and where you can go is important, today would be a great day to head to annexwealth.com and click the now famous Get Started button. Plus, Annex isn't going to push commission products on you. Annex makes it convenient. And they can handle it all. Retirement investment planning, tax planning, estate planning, one stop, 8 convenient locations for in-person meetings or virtual meetings via Zoom. I've done it both ways. Both are amazing. There's a significant difference between financial advisors. Know the difference. Start at annexwealth.com.
The famous Fox and Hounds and Mineshaft restaurants are hiring servers, bartenders, bussers, food runners, and barbacks. It's a great part-time job for high school and college students and retirees. Make real money. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today. Start next week.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
When you're in pain, you're all ears to any and everybody telling you they can help you. And at Rejuvenex, we're one of them. And there are others. But the difference here is that in most cases, insurance covers the cost of our treatments because our proprietary and powerful pain relief treatments are FDA approved. Others, like bioregenerative options, aren't covered by insurance because they're not FDA approved and considered experimental. At Rejuvenex, our treatments are precisely administered to where your pain lives to cushion and lubricate your affected areas to deliver long-lasting pain relief, sometimes as long as 2 years before a next treatment is needed. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief. Really.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
WTMJ Now.
As you would expect, a lot of text on this, including someone that said I should sign up for TikTok. Not going to happen. I think it's dangerous, and I've had endless conversations about people that I have a lot of respect for, and in some cases love, and I'm just not going to do it. I see a danger that other people don't see. Yeah, it's amusing, and I get all that, and we love to be entertained, and it's a clever use of our smartphone to connect us to people around the world doing fun, stupid, dumb, in some cases dangerous things. Well, anytime you spend doing that waste of time, my words, is time you spend not learning about the history of this country, the history of this world, the understanding of how things work, what is required to be a self-sufficient, honest, hardworking, truth-telling American. You know, people like to beat me up on the text line when I say this is the greatest country on the planet. And they sometimes point to European countries. Trust me, they're not perfect. They're dealing with the same problems we're having related to technology, the insufferability of muckrakers and those who are intent on bringing democracies down, immigration issues, changing the internal dynamics of a country that has existed for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Those are real questions. From the 414, my granddaughter just returned from her 8th trip to Washington, D.C. It was encouraging to see. They saw all the memorials, World War II, Vietnam, the Holocaust Museum. She came back with a new understanding of our country and its history. It was certainly a trip well taken. On that point, I'm going to have some guests in the next couple of weeks talking about both our history, Mount Vernon, George Washington, Washington, D.C. I agree completely. I went to management school in Washington, D.C. I went to many events at the White House during my term as mayor and the U.S. Conference of Mayors, and I saw the history. I have said over and over again, Mount Vernon is one of the most incredible places on this planet and needs to be funded and secure for future generations to see what I saw. The genius of George Washington. Was he perfect? No, nobody is perfect. But we have to start understanding some basic truths here. One of the reasons people still want to come to this country is we have protection for freedoms. We can have people say incredibly stupid things out loud on TV, often as presidents, and have no problem with that. And at the same time, we can understand that this country is one that accepts people that are different, look different, pray differently, whatever it is. We bring those folks here, and in the overused term, melting pot that is America, we become a better country that celebrates that diversity instead of hiding from it or pretending it's not the reality of the world we live in. It is. Lou from West Dallas, we always hung the American flag. How do you think I feel when I drive home from my home on 60th Street and I drive Greenfield Avenue downtown? All I see is Mexican flags. I don't care. If they want to fly the Mexican flag, that's fine. But you live in the United States of America. And that has to be Mexican, whatever your allegiance is beyond this country. I'm sorry. If you're a U.S. citizen, you should be proud of that. If you're taking advantage of the great things this country does, you should be proud of this country. But unfortunately, what's happened is over the last, I won't even put a number of years on it, we've seen less civic pride and an erosion of confidence in our way of life where it's all negative and less positive. And it's not one side or the other. We have U.S. senators running around here and elsewhere that are espousing conspiracy theories, who have questioned vaccines to the degree where parents, young parents now, are deciding not to get their children vaccinated for things like the measles and the mumps. And we have dumbed down our country because of the willingness to accept politics, frankly, over patriotism or policy or any of the other P words. Peter says this on the Old National Bank Talk and Text line: patriotism ought to be a unifying theme, but I think misguided folks are increasingly focused on the differences among the people in the U.S. versus the common goals we do share and need to recognize and celebrate together. From the 262, last word before we go to break, I think it's great to see people fly American flags and show their support for our country. What I don't like to see is people putting on that same flagpole other flags that have profanities on them related to Trump. On that point, this is my take, and it may be hot or smart, you decide. If I see one of those flags flying above, or certainly above, no, but even below an American flag, which should be the highest flag on your pole, you've disgraced the American flag by what you did underneath it. And if that hurts your feelings, I don't care. And that's one more example of the ridiculousness of politics, where in some cases some really, really smart people have just dumbed down the conversation so much, I can't even respect them anymore. And sadly, many of these people shape our policy and shape our lives every day to a degree that we may not even know. Quick break here on WTMJ Now.
More of WTMJ Now after this.
Home is where the heart is. Family meals, laughter, and warm memories. As your local contractor that's been around for 40 years, J&J Contractors has been helping families create new memories for generations to come by reimagining your kitchen space for baking holiday cookies with the family or opening up your lower level for friend and neighbor entertainment. Whatever the project is, J&J Contractors does it with top-of-the-line craftsmanship. Just Google J&J Contractors to see their reviews for impeccable work and outstanding communication.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you want to upgrade and transform your current bathroom space, I've got you covered. It's Sidex. Sidex just did the work in our house, took out the old bathtub, put in a beautiful walk-in shower. It is stunning. The process streamlined and efficient. Sidex is the company I trust. Sidex is the company doing the work in our bathroom and our house. My wife is so happy. They have changed our bathroom space. It's incredible. Joe, living the legacy of his dad, Sanford. It's incredible. They're family-owned since 1988. Free shower door upgrade when you mention John Mercure. Sidex. Check out the guys I trust at Sidex.
Hi, John McGivern here. Did you know Network Health has Medicare Advantage plans that give you $25 a month back towards your Medicare Part B premium? That's $300 a year back in your pocket. Isn't that great? Call 833-7-NETWORK to learn more today. Network Health Medicare Advantage plans include PPO plans with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Network Health Medicare Advantage plans depends on contract renewal. Certain restrictions apply to the Part B giveback. Visit networkhealth.com/Medicare/extra benefits for details.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Walker Media Agency. Who designed your company website? Do you even remember? Does it tell your story? Does it drive customer traffic? If you are hesitating on the answers, you need to connect with my friend Matt Walker and Walker Media Agency. Matt and his team are talented, honest, transparent. Even when they're not the lowest bidder, they are the best value. They are looking for a long-term relationship to help your business grow. Find them at walkerwtmj.com or text Walker to 855-616-1620.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. It's WTMJ Now.
A few folks have asked about the book I mentioned earlier that I just ordered, Grateful American, A Journey from Self to Service by Gary Sinise. Now, producer Charlie and I are starting to work on our holiday specials. We have 2 hours that are going to run throughout the holiday season. Don't know the times yet. And one of them is a collection of interviews that we've done through the year. And one of those interviews is going to be Gary Sinise, part of that interview, because we talked to him for quite a while. And a few other great interviews that we've done. And I might even bring some Greg Marcus in from yesterday because I was fascinated about his conversation about the movie business and theater business. So look for that during the holiday season. A couple more texts quickly. Steve, great show today. This is from Gail in Wauwatosa. Love the segment on patriotism and how lucky we are, and nothing wrong with striving to do better, but not to do crazy. Do we really think a phone in everyone's hands has improved our way of living in society today? I don't. I understand technology. I embrace it. She also goes on to say, Gail does know TikTok. Stop allowing the Chinese to buy up land here. Come on, America. Don't be so naive. Jim says people are private and have narrow minds. Lauren says, this Democrat continues to love your show. Thanks for that, Lauren. Angela says, people come to our country because we're the only country in the world that gives illegals free everything. I don't want to make it about that. I understand the argument. I understand. I've talked about the border policy, lack of border policy for a long time. We have so much work to do down there. And frankly, our elected officials have disappointed us for too long by talking about it and doing nothing of significance. We could have a whole hour on that. All I'm asking is, as you go about your day, think about some of these elements that we've talked about this hour. And don't be embarrassed by your civic pride or patriotism. And a decision by a Massachusetts high school, I think, did exactly that. They politicized it themselves with their decision to pull back on a USA Day. No reason to do it. If we're going to have a costume day for every other dumb reason, this was one that could have been done in the right fashion to celebrate this great country we live in. We'll take a break for news. We'll have some fun with Thanksgiving, including a cheaper Thanksgiving, significantly cheaper than last year. We'll discuss after the news, which is next on WTMJ.
WTMJ Now.
Small business owners can make a little of anything go a long way.
It's true. My bakery is made up of a little sugar, spice, and edible glitter.
Well, that's why U.S. Cellular is offering small businesses lines for as little as $19.99, plus $300 off any phone.
That's great. A little does go a long way. Unless we're talking sprinkles, everyone always needs more sprinkles.
Oh, of course. Get lines for $19.99 plus $300 off any phone today. U.S. Cellular. Built for business. Built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
This Thanksgiving, hit the road with confidence thanks to Griffin's special offer. For just $179.95, we'll change your oil, inspect and rotate your tires, replace the air filter and wiper blades, give your car a complete multi-point inspection, check the battery, and make sure your heat is toasty warm for those chilly Thanksgiving travels. Don't let car trouble spoil your holiday plans. Visit Griffin for details and restrictions. Happy Thanksgiving from our family to yours.
Keeping you informed, keeping you safe, keeping you engaged and entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
10 o'clock, 40 degrees. The high today, 44, with a rain-snow mix through the morning hours. Otherwise cloudy and windy today. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Eric Bilstead. Following some breaking news out of Iowa, an Amber Alert that's been in place for most of the morning has now been canceled. This Amber Alert was activated early this morning for two children with ties to Wisconsin. Alexander and Stephen Jong were last seen Monday, believed to be with their father, Yemen, who left Plover, Wisconsin, around 8:30 Monday evening. They weren't sure where he was headed. We are now being told by authorities that the two children have been found safe in Iowa. So the Amber Alert appears to have been canceled now. All three found in Iowa. Here at home today marks 2 years since the Waukesha Christmas parade attack. 6 people killed, scores of others injured when a man drove his SUV through the parade. Now, this afternoon, a memorial is being dedicated in honor of those victims. That memorial, which sits at the 5 Points intersection in Waukesha, 7 feet tall, made of concrete, glass, and ribbon to form a heart in the center. Scaffidi project manager Beth Daniel tells WTMJ.
The concrete is the strength and the stability of the community. The ribbons are the binding that ties it all together. And the glass is the piece that lights up and tells the story and gives hope.
Daniel will be a guest on WTMJ's What's on Tap tonight at 6 p.m. The dedication ceremony scheduled for 4:39 this afternoon. Negotiations to free some of the hundreds of hostages in Gaza could be nearing completion. ABC's Matt Gutman says the spokesperson for Qatar's foreign ministry, who's assisting in the negotiations, reports it's a critical and final stage moment.
We spoke to a Hamas official who said they are very close. They're now waiting for Israel to accept the terms. The Israeli cabinet meeting discussing this broadly. The deal would include about 50 hostages, maybe more, women and children. In exchange, Hamas would get a 5-day ceasefire, the release of Palestinian women and minors from Israeli jails, and a huge influx of aid, including fuel.
Israel is concerned with a sticking point that Hamas will try to drag out the hostage release and then extending that ceasefire. Today's first big day of the Thanksgiving holiday travel rush, and airports will be especially busy this year. In an interview with Good Morning America today, TSA Administrator David Pekoski says travelers have to give themselves extra time.
As you go to the airport, if you take an Uber, it might not get there in the time that you expect. Or if you're driving, you might hit traffic, or you might not be able to find a parking space.
More than 55 million people expected to hit the road for this Thanksgiving week. Dave Elvies, the president and COO at Kohl's, is leaving the company after less than a year. The retailer says Elvies left to pursue other opportunities. That, according to Milwaukee Business Journal, reporting that shares of Kohl's were down in late morning trading because of that news on Monday. Time now for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Right now, stocks are in the red. The Dow is down 57 to 35,093. The Nasdaq is down 116 to 14,168. And the S&P is down 14 to 45.32. Ready for investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary? Go to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button now. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Side and Unlimited WTMJ News Time 10:04.
This report's sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
Marco the meteorologist predicts an El Nino winter. What does that mean? Marco says we might have more snow. Or maybe not. It might be colder than normal. Or maybe not. Can you believe he gets paid to make these prognostications? Well, the weather wizards at Mr. Holland's Home Services are here with the real forecast. After analyzing air mass and determining dew points, we predict with 100% accuracy that this winter is going to winter. Regardless of how low the temperature goes or how high the snow blows, it's going to get cold. And that means a furnace is definitely in your forecastable future. Mr. Holland's crew can tune up or repair your current furnace, or we can install a brand new, high-efficient comfort system with 0% financing for up to 24 months with approved credit. Take that, Marco. Call 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If your furnace is under the weather, we can help.
If you own a company or you're in management, you know how valuable your local employees are. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Show your gratitude with a company holiday party at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, recently voted the best supper club in the area. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free. Half your employees' dinners are free, saving your company hundreds of dollars, and they get a great dinner in a fantastic atmosphere. The Fox and Hounds, tucked into the Kettle Moraine Forest, the warmth and aroma of the real wood-burning fireplaces hits you as soon as you walk in the door. And the holiday decorations are incredible, putting your employees in the holiday spirit. Gift cards make perfect holiday gifts. With the buy one dinner, get one free offer, it's like getting a free gift card. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. The drive is beautiful. I love this place. Book your company holiday party and order your gift cards today at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. Relax tonight. Enjoy your free dinner. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update.
The Milwaukee Bucks made it 5 straight wins as Giannis drops 42 and the Deer casting a spell on the Wizards in Washington, winning by a final score of 142-129.
Giannis now, a little hesitation. He'll take it inside, and there's no stopping that freight train. Giannis flushes it through with a big swooping jam.
Chris Middleton also added 18. He passed Sidney Moncrief for 4th place on the Bucks' all-time scoring list. Next up for Milwaukee is a primetime showdown in Boston on Wednesday night. To the NFL, where a rematch of Super Bowl 57 did not disappoint on Monday night as the Philadelphia Eagles soared past the Kansas City Chiefs in a thrilling Monday night football game, winning by a final score of 21-17. And lastly, in college hoops throughout the state, number 4 ranked Marquette beat UCLA 71-69, and the Badgers knocking off Virginia by a final of 65-41. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving, time saver traffic. 94 eastbound, Highway 16, through the zoo and into downtown. So far, so good getting in. It's about a 17-minute ride. 4145 southbound, Highway Q to the zoo is also on time. 43 South Brownview Road into downtown, no problem. Despite the conditions at times, it's fine there. 94 northbound is also looking good from Layton into the Marquette. Just a 7-minute trip.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Heard at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
WTMJ 5-day forecast. Got that rain snow mix wrapping up this morning. Otherwise cloudy and windy today. High of 44. Tonight cloudy, breezy, a low of 34. For Wednesday, sunny and nice tomorrow, a high of 46. Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, sunny and windy, a high of 45. Friday, sunny, a high of 40. Saturday, sunny but cool and a high of 38 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, 41. I'm Eric Bilstead, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
It's WTMJ Now. News, opinions, Wisconsin. Everything you need to know in the Badger State and beyond. Here's your host, Steve Scaffidi.
Oh, yes, 10 o'clock hour. I'm excited about this hour, but I'm really excited about the 11 o'clock hour. Not to downplay the significance of the 10 o'clock hour, but Chef Michael Fecker in studio. All your Thanksgiving questions. Now, we have fun talking about other stuff, too, but Thanksgiving turkey stuff, best sides, worst sides, tips, tricks. Fecker Foodies, are you out there? That's what he calls them, I guess. I think it's Fecker Foodies. He'll be in studio after 11 o'clock, the news, of course, at the top of the 11 o'clock hour. So I had some fun with Thanksgiving. I'm going to have some fun with Thanksgiving this half hour. This is one of those ones that hurts people's feelings, but I don't really care. I was thinking about this in my deer stand over the weekend. Beautiful Wapaka County, sunny day, a lot of time to think between deer waltzing in front of me, walking. So we celebrate Thanksgiving on this year, the fourth Thursday of November. What about moving the day? Why does it have to be Thursday? So I made it my show poll today. I already got almost 250 votes on this. And I can sense the anger in the question. See, this is that thing that I talk about. We don't like change. We get very habit forming on some of these things. We're so used to doing the same thing. I'm not saying we should change it. I'm just asking the question. Now, I gave you a few choices, and if you're not on the Twitter, you can certainly burn up the old National Bank Talking text line, 855-616-1620. Would you be open to moving it to a different day? Monday, less than 1% of you. Friday, 6%. Leave it alone, which I'm not surprised by, 93%, with some comments. So, the history is important. Abraham Lincoln created the day of Thanksgiving in the 1860s. I think it was 1862 or 1863. And it is a day to give thanks. But now even that's been convoluted, right? So now it's been replaced by, again, because of social media, people complaining about turkey and how much they hate turkey. No one's forcing you to eat turkey. But don't rain on our parade because you don't like turkey. Maybe you're cooking it wrong. Maybe you're bad cooks. Because a well-cooked turkey is worth the investment. Trust me. And then everything that's wrapped around it. You can make pizza every day of the year. Why make it on Thanksgiving? You're not going to make turkey all year long. Most people don't. Some people do, I guess. Which brings me to my secondary points. And you can always join the conversation, 855-616-1620. If you have a thought on moving the date, absolutely entertain that. We're stuck on Thursday for some reason. Friday makes more sense. Black Friday's not even a thing anymore. We sell more on, Cyber Monday than we do on Black Friday. Stores are even saying, you know what, we're not going to do all this crazy stuff. We have the internets now. We don't have to have people waiting in line from midnight on or from 10 o'clock in the evening on for a TV that now you can buy on the internet and have it delivered to your house later this afternoon or the next day. All that's changed. So here's a bit of news, a dazzling detail, if you were, on Thanksgiving. And I saw this story, and I'm not going to cite it, but it was on one of the networks, more conservative networks, and they were complaining about the cost of Thanksgiving. Do you know the cost of Thanksgiving is actually cheaper this year? It's down 5.6% from last year. That's according to the American Farm Bureau. Folks who actually know what the hell they're talking about. Right now, average price for a 16-pound frozen whole turkey, about $27. And if you remember, we had that whole bird flu thing. Like 50 million or 60 million birds impacted. This year alone, 4.5 million birds slaughtered because of the avian influenza. So that number is dropping. If eggs are part of your Thanksgiving tradition in some way, maybe in a salad or something, some other dish. Eggs were, in 2022, $4.25 on average. You know what they are now? This week, according to the USDA, I would cite them as an expert, wouldn't you? $1.26. And you can find them cheaper on sale. Still good, still delicious. Love eggs. Food is more affordable this year than it was last year. And, oh, by the way, talking about our American pride, Americans only spend 6.7% of their income on food. Canadians, 10%. They're either eating too much or they're paying too much for food. Maybe it's supply and demand. Maybe it's all the food that comes from here that goes there that they have to pay higher prices for. So as much as some news networks, some talking, bloviating heads, squawkers, if you want to use that term, like to say, oh my goodness, everything is higher priced. Some things are not higher priced than they were last year and actually have shown some signs of improvement. Hello, cheaper gas prices. I drove by my local Quick Trip this morning. I think it was $2.79. There are thoughts from some of the agencies that look at gas prices that it could go below $2.50. Oh, and by the way, again, I'm not taking political sides on this, but all the complaints about Biden's energy policy, some of which I agreed with, the sudden shift when he took office to kind of abandon some of our big long-term projects to be sustainable long-term. Our oil production, all-time highs. Under Joe Biden, go figure. So the next time you hear a talking head open his yap about some of this stuff, look it up. Not that hard. Took me about an hour. Food prices, lower. Car prices, lower. Gas prices, lower. Does Joe Biden get credit for it? Absolutely not. The producers, the companies, the corporations, the workers, they get credits. But he also doesn't deserve or have to be blown up because of the numbers. The numbers are improving. Unless, of course, and this is where we can take the conversation if you'd like, 855-616-1620, you want to cheerlead for bad news because it makes your guy look better in the next election. And to those people, I say, 1, misguided. 2, shame on you. Let's fire up the phone line, text line, 855-616-1620. We're just getting warmed up in the 10 o'clock hour. Talking turkey, talking prices, even some politics, all wrapped into the same conversation. That's called layering. I just made that up. More after this on WTMJ Now.
More of WTMJ Now after this.
They said man would never fly.
And they said nobody would ever design a sofa sleeper without uncomfortable bars.
They did.
But they haven't heard of the Perry sofa sleeper from Penny Mustard.
We didn't just raise the bar, we removed it completely.
Plus a Tempur-Pedic mattress option and 5 extra inches of sleeping space.
Tall sleepers rejoice.
The Perry Sofa Sleeper, starting at just $208 a month with only 1 penny down and no interest until November of 2025. Through November 26th at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Panoramic CBD. I'm a customer as well as a spokesperson. Whether you're looking to reduce anxiety, pain, which is what I was looking for, depression, or just need to relax, Panoramic CBD has the best products for everyone's needs. They farm, process, test, and package their own CBD products. Hence the slogan, from soil to oil. By overseeing every stage of that process, Panoramic CBD eliminates the middleman, ensuring unmatched quality throughout to offer you the best CBD products at the best prices for you, and the newest part of their product line, for your pets as well. Find out about it. Shop local. Shop Wisconsin. From soil to oil, PanoramicCBD.com.
Get ready for Black Friday at Fleet Farm. Doors open at 5 a.m. Friday with a free plush pig for the first 500 customers. Inside, enjoy big deals on big brands, like a Blackstone 28-inch griddle for $179.99. 40 pounds of sunflower seed are $16.99. And take 10% off all shotguns, rifles, and pistols, excluding Glocks. Get unbeatable Black Friday deals on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm.
At Annex Wealth Management, we believe every portfolio tells a story. After all, we've analyzed thousands. Some reflect diligence and fortitude. Others, a mishmash of overlapping investments. When Annex reviews your portfolio, we spot what works, what might not, and then provide unbiased suggestions free from sales commissions. Every portfolio tells a story. Let's work on yours. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. As a fee-only fiduciary, that's our story. Head to annexwealth.com.
WTMJ Now.
I met a man who lives in Tennessee, and he was heading for Pennsylvania and some homemade pumpkin pie.
Oh, doesn't that sound good? Pumpkin pie.
Pennsylvania.
Homemade? Nobody makes homemade pumpkin pie anymore. That's actually one of the things that went up, pumpkin. The canned pumpkin, it ticked up slightly. So to be fair about pricing, thanks to producer Charlie for finding that beautiful old song. So I got a lot of commentary on my decision That's really my ask to move Thanksgiving to a different day. Look, partly tongue-in-cheek. Partly because I know it tweaks a few people, and I love the nudge that pushes people to get engaged. It's still a fascination for me, even 7 years of doing this. From the 920, Thanksgiving should be on a Friday. The Super Bowl and Independence Day should be on a Saturday. Let's do this already. I like your attitude, 920. Can-do attitude. Why do we have to have these things set in stone like that? There's no reason. Christmas moves. It's on a Monday this year? I think it was on a Sunday. I love the fact that it moves. Mix it up. From the 920, talking about egg prices. I just picked up eggs today at Quick Trip. 99 cents a dozen. Can I say it? God bless Quick Trip. I mentioned their gas prices earlier. I was at Quick Trip this morning. As you can see, me holding up my coffee cup on the stream for the folks. Yeah, Quick Trip this morning. Love their coffee. I don't go there every day because I don't want to give anybody my business every day. I want them to earn my business. So I mix it up. I go to Speedway sometimes. Sometimes I make my own coffee. Sometimes I have the coffee here. I won't get into a debate about which is the best and which is the worst, but you can figure it out yourself. Colin from Delafield. I'm in the leave it alone camp. Makes a really nice, fun 4-day weekend for most of us. I would possibly open to Wednesday so you could have it be a 5. Yeah, why not? Let's spread the joy out an extra day. You know what the honest question is here? Or the answer is? A lot of people are doing that already. You think the work product, the efficiency of workers on the, what do they call it, Blackout Wednesday is as good as it is on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving? I don't think so. Something to think about. From the 414, yes, move Thanksgiving Day and Election Day. I also added to my post on X this morning, maybe Election Day, because someone said this is a dumb question. There's no dumb question. There's just dumb answers. I think maybe Election Day should be a national holiday. So we have no excuses. So all Americans can vote. It's funny how that works. Most political parties, they're cool with anything that gets their voters out. The other side, not so much. It's part of the story of American politics. Lots of conversation. Hooray for you to talk about things that are better from the 262. They are better. The media dwells on the negative and the dirty laundry, which is why I don't do that. Now, I will complain. I'll be completely honest. My wife says sometimes I'm a bit negative. I try not to be. We're not perfect, as I've said. But we have to ask these questions. Jeff from Fox Point loves Quick Trip's muffins. Never had one. Have to try one. From the 414, Thanksgiving on a Thursday doesn't matter, but move it to October so the weather is better and people aren't driving through snow. Canada already does this, yes. We have a love affair with tradition. And I'm a guy who sort of likes tradition, but I'm not afraid to change. And an inability to adapt to change makes you weaker. A willingness to adapt, a willingness to think outside the box makes you smarter. Steve from West Bend challenges me on the no one makes homemade pumpkin pie. He does. All right, Steve from West Bend. Wouldn't say no to a pie delivered to the old studios here on Wisconsin Avenue. If you want to show us your talents in that area. All right, so whenever I talk about prices and the economy and inflation, recession, I get one of these texts. Now, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I'm getting one of these. See, prices have to drop when dealing with inflationary issues not seen in generations. Of course, we are producing record numbers of oil. Demand is way up. That doesn't mean that Biden in any way has tried to make us more energy dependent. I didn't say that. I said we give the president too much credit, pick a president, and we blame them too much. When there's a whole lot of other folks, Congress, doing nothing about most of the things that are actually important. He and his administration have restricted new access almost completely. I've talked about this. I'm not a fan of his energy policy. I think we should be self-sufficient. I also think we should go after nuclear energy. How about that? Not a big fan of the windmills, and everybody I talk to that lives around windmills hates them, but that seems to be where most of our resources are going at the moment. Greg says, how about keeping Thanksgiving on a date like Christmas? Perhaps. Moving around. Maybe it's on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Different days. What is the fear of change? I know it's a big topic for a Thanksgiving week show. What is the fear of change? All right, 855-616-1620. What do you think? Change the day? I have zero problem with that. Do I think it's going to happen? Absolutely not. And what about these prices? Cheaper. I said $561 cheaper than last year for the average price of Thanksgiving. And I'm going to take it one step further because I was talking about Quick Trip. Quick Trip, an enterprising reporter, actually assembled a Thanksgiving dinner from products available at Quick Trip. I'll tell you what those products are and how much they cost. And amazingly, maybe not so amazingly, actually pretty affordable. Now, is it the Thanksgiving dinner you want? That's an open question. We'll tell you that story after this on WTMJ Now.
More of WTMJ Now after this.
Buying a diamond here just got a lot easier and a lot less expensive. Just in time for the holidays, Diamonds Direct has arrived. Now open on Mayfair Road in front of Mayfair Mall. This is the game-changing concept that's sweeping across America with the largest selection of rare, precious diamonds, up to 30 times ordinary jewelry stores, from 1 carat to 20 carat diamonds, not on a computer screen, but actually in stock every day. Started by former diamond wholesalers, Diamonds Direct has diamond cutters around the world and tremendous buying power, delivering exceptional value in a world-class, luxurious new showroom. This is no ordinary jewelry store. It's a diamond powerhouse, a true direct diamond importer that will forever change how people in Milwaukee buy diamonds and fine jewelry. We've needed a place like this for years. Now it's here. The all-new Diamonds Direct. Unmatched selection, uncompromising quality, and unbeatable value. Come celebrate with special savings now. The all-new Diamonds Direct on Mayfair Road in front of Mayfair Mall. Get details and learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
Stop into Ken Michaels Furniture for our sale on Bradington Young. Made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, Bradington Young is an American icon in quality leather upholstery. Whether you are looking for power recliners or stationary seating, Bradington Young's furniture is made with enduring quality, outstanding comfort, and timeless styling. Save up to 40% now on Bradington Young upholstery at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield and Greenfield. Visit us today. Give yourself the gift of sound sleep with a mattress set from Ken Michaels Furniture and Milwaukee Mattress. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses are custom built to your specifications. We offer special sizing, waterproofing, extra cushioning, and a variety of other options to accommodate your needs. Buy a mattress and a box spring set this week and get free delivery. For the best sleep of your life, stop into Ken Michaels Furniture on Highway 100 in Greenfield and Capitol Drive in Brookfield.
WTMJ Now.
Homeward bound, I wish I was homeward bound. Home, where my thoughts are escaping home, where my music's playing home.
I know everybody recognizes Paul Simon's voice, but the other voice in that recording from 1976 from Saturday Night Live, George Harrison, the late George Harrison.
Every day is an endless stream.
I just love the song, the original version, Simon and Garfunkel, but I love the song with those two as well. Everybody's heading home for the holidays. That's the reason we're playing some of that music today. Thank you, producer Charlie, for weaving that into the mix. So I raised this question before about moving the holiday. Look, I realize it's not going to happen. This country is founded on traditional principles. Now, someone did ask a good question, which I will answer. I actually published this morning on the X. Why Thursday? Why did they pick that day? And the answer is, you can easily search. The Puritan colonists of this great country, they chose that day to kind of separate it from the Sabbath. It was also a traditional day for lectures and speeches, which may have contributed to the reason Thanksgiving is on a Thursday. So there's a little history lesson for you. All right, so an enterprising reporter looked at Thanksgiving dinner, and we talk a lot every year. It's the price thing, the difference. I thought it was like $561 cheaper than last year, which is significant. But an enterprising young reporter looked at, okay, so I was talking about Quick Trip earlier. What would a Thanksgiving dinner per se cost at for 6 people cost a Quick Trip. And while you're hearing me go through the products, because it's not a perfect match, but there's some interesting, I think, connections to what most people perceive as a Thanksgiving Day feast from the product line at Quick Trip. And to answer your text, I'm not employed by Quick Trip, nor am I a paid sponsor. I just like their stuff, like their company. So, enterprising young reporter Claire Reed, the food section, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, looked at it this way. So they have a home-style roasted chicken. Feeds about 8 people, $6.99. You can buy a jar of home-style turkey gravy, $3.49. Stovetop chicken, everybody's favorite, right? $3.69 per 6-serving box. You can buy mashed potatoes in sort of a little heatable container. Really good mashed potatoes. Steakhouse Yukon Gold, some of the best potatoes you could ever grow. $4.79 for a 20-ounce package. You can buy Reese's Signature Macaroni and Cheese, $4.79 for a package. A bag of Bird's Eye mixed vegetables, $2.99. I hope you're doing the math in your head. They sell sweet potatoes for 39 cents a pound. Classic white dinner rolls, $1.59 for a pack of 12 rolls. How about cranberries? $2.29 for a 12-ounce package. And a pumpkin pie, we were talking about that earlier, $8.99. That's the pricey item, more than a chicken. And, oh, by the way, you can't have a pumpkin pie without Cool Whip, $3.29 for an 8-ounce tub. All right, so what does that add up to? Well, my wife's a math teacher. I had her add it up last night. $43.79. You could literally go to Quick Trip today, and for the cost of, what's equivalent? So that's probably a day at the movie, right, for 2 people? About $43, $45, $50. Popcorn, tickets. For the price of that, you can have a full Thanksgiving dinner from Quick Trip. Quality's going to be good, right? We know that. And celebrate Thanksgiving. And it's really, other than the cranberries, kind of just warming things up. Cranberries, you're going to have to do a little work, especially if you want them jellied or prepared in a different way. A sauce. But other than that, you kind of, and good stuff. Bird's Eye, Yukon Gold potatoes, roasted chicken. Now, I'm probably, as much as I'm giving Quick Trip some love here, I'm probably creating a challenge for them because somebody's going to go do that, and I hope they're well-stocked. Now, I'm guessing it's Quick Trip, great Wisconsin company. I'm guessing they are well-stocked. $43.79 is the price for a full meal at Quick Trip celebrating Thanksgiving. On our topic of moving the date, Thursday is great. Many people can take 3 days of vacation and get 9 days off. The gun deer season, of course, benefits from that Thanksgiving holiday. Another texter, pretty blunt. Leave tradition alone. I'm not against tradition. I just like the idea of debating some of these things. From the 262, not a fear of change, embracing tradition. I get the tradition thing. Big fan. I'm not saying get rid of Thanksgiving. Tradition means celebrating Thanksgiving. I'm just saying, I'm asking the question, why Thursday? From the 303, heavy hitter, serious text. Biden and the Democrats have unleashed a wave of inflation on our nation that has crushed young people. It's the actual reason young people are turning towards Trump en masse. I was going to do politics, and I may still do it today, although we have Chef Fecker coming up talking about Thanksgiving food at 11, which I'm excited about because he's always fun. And get your questions ready, 855-616-1624. The Fecker foodies out there, he will be answering those questions, text or phone, in about, 27 minutes or so. On the issue of the politics of all of this, inflation, recession, what it means for the election, too early to tell. It's a year away. And as many people who do what I do have talked about, a lot of things can change. The Trump trials, who will be the alternative candidate for Democrats? Maybe it's Gavin Newsom, maybe it's somebody else. Joe Biden, now 81 years old. And for Republicans, is it time for the clearing of the field from these second-choice candidates? Lots of discourse online yesterday about clearing the field for Nikki Haley, who seems to have been the second choice du jour for a lot of Republicans who are looking at somebody who can actually beat Joe Biden or another Democrats in November of 2024. 855-616-1620, the old National Bank talking text line. Get into the conversation on WTMJ Now.
More of WTMJ Now after this.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
The average 30-year fixed rate is the highest it's been in 23 years. But low overhead AccuNet still has some special 30-year fixed rate money for first-time Wisconsin homebuyers at a rate of 6.625%. That's right, 6.625 on a 30-year fixed with an APR as low as 6.8 with as little as 3% down. Household income limits apply and vary by household size and the county in which your new home is located. Now, you might be thinking this is too good to be true, but it is true, and it gets even a little better. AccuNet can also provide a 10-year fixed second mortgage at an APR of 6.625 to cover the minimum 3% down payment and closing costs. First-time buyers in today's market have an advantage. You don't have a home to sell, and the housing market is a little less competitive all of a sudden, too. Hear that sound? That's opportunity knocking. Answer the door and click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com for your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
The Brewers annual clubhouse sale returns for 2 days only, Friday, December 1st and Saturday, December 2nd from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Head to American Family Field to save up to 80% on Brewers apparel, game-used items, and memorabilia. Plus, get a free Brewers water bottle or tumbler when you spend $100 or more while supplies last. It's the Brewers' best sale of the season, right in time for the holidays. Don't miss out.
What you doing?
I'm completely sealing up all the doors to get the house ready for winter.
How will we get in and out?
We'll just have to hunker down till spring.
Sometimes getting your home ready for winter is best left to professionals. The same is definitely true for your vehicles. And now's the time to visit any of the 115 Adam member new car dealers to get your oil changed. Have your brakes and wipers checked and make sure your tires will get you through a long Wisconsin winter. Visit ADAMM.com to find the nearest Adam member dealer.
WTMJ Now.
I'll continue to monitor the text line. Apparently the Thanksgiving Thursday tradition is one that people just don't want to give up. But you got to ask the hard questions, the tough questions. Charlie, where are you at on Thanksgiving on a Thursday?
It's fine. I guess I would probably prefer closer to the weekend, but what can you do?
Yeah, Friday. I think that's the alternative, right? Let me check the poll results because people were hammering that poll. One more quick look at the show poll for today, asking the difficult question, the hard question, the challenging question. Would you be opening to moving to a different day of the week? Monday, Friday, leave it alone. Right now, leave it alone, 90, almost 300 votes, 92%. Friday, 6%. Monday, not even 1%. Monday would be a dumb choice. Friday, though. Now, some people said, well, we're already getting Friday off, and most businesses are off Friday. You know, I didn't even get to this part of this conversation. There's a whole lot of people who are mad about Thanksgiving because of the history of the country and the treatment of Native American. I get all that. But I often caution people, this is one of those big picture questions, right? Regardless of who's there, who they are, the differences between the groups. No group is perfect, indigenous or otherwise. And if you truly believe that all living beings are created equal, we all have the same faults. We all have the same biases. We all have the same inability to see people like we see ourselves. So I'd be careful with that stuff. And you want to really lose the country into a depth of despair we haven't seen in a long time, try to blow up Thanksgiving. Not going to happen, can't happen, won't happen. All right. I didn't even know this was a thing until I read this story in the Wall Street Journal. The question is in the title of the piece, lifestyle section, Wall Street Journal. Have you checked your mailbox today? Neither has anyone else. Apparently now, and I get this now having read the story, like there is literally nothing in my mailbox that I ever care to look at. And I don't generally get the mail. My wife's retired, so she generally does. And she'll often tell me it was all junk mail, threw it away. Matter of fact, I can't even remember the last time I got something of significance because anything that I have that's important is all paperless now. I receive it or can gather it on the internet. Charlie, when's the last time you checked your mailbox?
I think yesterday or the day before. It is getting close to my birthday, so, my financial advisor sent me a card.
Oh.
Last time they gave me a Panera gift card with it, but not this time. Not worth it.
It's funny. I didn't get a gift card from my financial advisor, but I hear you. And here's the thing. The post office is kind of getting ticked about it. USPS. And I was reading from the story. I'll just read a little bit. When Raleigh, North Carolina-based tech worker Brittany Charnez Turner got an irritated text message from her building management, she knew she deserved it. The text message notified all residents that if they didn't pick up their mail in a timely fashion, management would return it to the post office. All caps, said Turner, who had been checking hers only every few months. Man, you're really not getting the mail if you're waiting every few months. And she said in this piece, I knew I was one of the people they were yelling at. She felt sheepish, but also relieved. I was like, it's just not me. Now, here's another one of those comments that are going to make people mad. We are addicted to the mail for some reason. Got to go get the mail. Got to go get the mail. But that's older people. Young people, not so much. And it's also very expensive to get mail every day. Now, save the tax. I understand some people get their drugs. Maybe in those cases, a simple notification system that says this person requires that service would be all we need to do. But for me to get junk mail every day of the week, when I could get it like 2 days, I don't know, Monday and Friday, I don't need mail on Saturday. Often it's garbage. You want to be efficient? Do things differently. The only way you can really piss me off is to say, that's the way we always did it. So what? We used to ride horses to get places and wagons. That argument kind of falls down on under its own weight when you have that kind of a transportation question. We also didn't have cell phones, and now we do. Smartphones that are often not smart, i.e. TikTok. So here's some numbers for you, because we're all fascinated with the dazzling details in the numbers, right? According to Pew Research Center, 77% of us get the mail every day. Go to the mailbox, go to our post box, whatever we do. 77%. It's down 9 percentage points in the past 5 years. And it's even lower among millennials and some boomers. Also, time spent reading mail because it's all garbage. Be honest out there. 855-616-1620 on the Old National Bank talking text line. How much mail did you get, physically get, is something you actually really need to get? I would argue less than 10%, maybe not even that high. All those election ads that we get at certain times of the year, at certain years, especially coming up on 2024, I take them, or my wife takes them, they go right to the garbage. Now, one year I kept a stack. It was probably 2020. Of all the election, those big cardboard flyers they send out, or the hard flyers, 2 inches high. It costs money to create those, your money, because you're giving money to politicians who don't deserve it, and to mail them. Although, post office, you want to make some more money, charge more for that act. Charge those elected officials. Remember the days when you used to race to the post office when you were a kid to get a card from your grandma for your birthday? Remember those days? That's pre-you, Charlie. You're too young for that. But that was a big deal for us, right? Your grandma sent you a card on your birthday. And you knew when your birthday was, so you'd be anticipating that arrival of said card.
I would certainly anticipate it, but I wasn't racing to the post office for it.
Not the post office, your mailbox. Because unless you lived in the city, your mailbox was at the road, right? Sometimes a long road.
I was on my house.
Yeah, that's house delivery is different than rural delivery. I lived mainly, I had some house delivery in my college years, but mainly the rural delivery where they drive up and drop it off. And all those postal workers who listen to the show, God bless you guys and women. You do a great job. And if I could tip you in some way, I certainly would. Tell me how to do that, and I'll certainly expedite the process. But I think when you're talking about this, it's junk mail. People spend a lot of money for things you're throwing away, filling our landfills, right? with stuff we don't care about. I tell this to my wife, Kathy, all the time. Every bill that I ever get, which is not many because I don't like to have bills, I receive electronically, digitally, virtually. 855-616-1620. The question is this: how much mail do you actually need to look at, physically hold in your hand? And if the answer is less than 25%, what are we even doing here? What are we even doing? 855-616-1620. The Old National Bank talking text line. Don't forget, for all you Fecker foodies out there, 11:08-ish. Chef Michael Fecker in studio. All the Thanksgiving questions. Fire them up. Line them up. Write them down if you have to. We'll be answering all those questions after 11 o'clock. Quick break on WTMJ Now.
More of WTMJ Now after this.
Why wait for Black Friday when you can save every day? Hasseless Mattress introduces Black Friday Plus. We've gone rogue and activated Black Friday deals through December 4th on Sealy Posturepedic, Beautyrest, CertaPerfect Sleeper, and more. You get the everyday, way low Hasseless price, plus additional savings, plus free next day delivery, plus free memory foam pillows on select mattresses. Get a Queen CertaPerfect Sleeper Oakmont A mattress. Other stores sell it for $14.99, but our Black Friday Plus price is just $8.88, plus 2 free Remy memory foam pillows. Other stores sell the King Sealy Posturepedic Golden Acres A for $17.99, but you can get it now for just $10.95, plus the free memory foam pillows. Big savings on Beautyrest too, and employee-free, hassle-free showrooms. Not just on Black Friday, but every day. Black Friday Plus, today at Hasseless Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at hasseless.com.
Thanksgiving is this Thursday. Just think how long it takes to prep, cook, and clean for your Thanksgiving dinner. Too long. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I've got a great idea. Don't cook, relax, enjoy the day, and let the amazing Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford serve your family. The Thanksgiving Day buffet is a feast. It's all you can eat. It's $21.99. And hey, kids under 3 always eat for free. It's every dish you love for Thanksgiving with a huge dessert table. I love that. And sip on an old-fashioned or your favorite glass of wine and ice cold beer for a perfect Thanksgiving dinner. Your kids can safely play in that $2 million game room, quietly tucked away from the dining area while you finish up. Now that's perfect. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh with lots of seating and close parking. So enjoy the all-you-care-to-eat Thanksgiving Day buffet at the Mine Shaft under $22, serving from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free. Reserve today. Tables fill quickly. It's the Mine Shaft.
The holiday season is right around the corner. Give the gift that's hard to wrap, but easy to give. Give them a Steel. Visit your local Steel dealer or go to steelusa.com/gift guide.
When you breathe well, you live better. Find out more at adventknows.com.
Give the gift of Harley this holiday season. Whether you're looking for the perfect gift for the motorcycle enthusiast in your life or just treating yourself, don't miss the HD Factory Outlet's Orange and Black Friday weekend sale and rumble in on the Harley-Davidson Museum campus from November 24th through the 26th. Save on discontinued motor clothes, merchandise, and enjoy a special selection of official products. While you're shopping on Friday, sample a variety of rare barrel-aged beers from local and national craft breweries within the HD Museum lobby and experience gallery. Visit hdmuseum.com for a full schedule.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, West Bend Vacuum. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact NX Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at nxwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ. It's WTMJ Now.
How much mail is actually worthwhile? How much is junk? Gianni's going to answer that question for us. Hi, Gianni.
Yes. Hey, good morning, Steve. Listen, I would say that most of my rural mail up here is probably 90% of it is junk mail. Now, I do get a credit card statement every month, and I get some financial statements. But beyond that, I if I didn't get mail more than twice a week, I wouldn't be complaining about it. So
that's where I'm at. It's like, what are we doing here? Why don't we be more efficient? I don't get this hesitance.
What is the cost? And what is the cost of mailing a first-class stamp? Is what? Is it over 65 cents?
It's something like that.
I pay my something like that. So it's like we're all of us through that 65 cents or something are financing
Right.
this cheap junk mail.
Yes.
And the only good thing about the junk mail is that I use it to kindle a fire every day because we heat with wood.
There you go. There you go. You found a use for it.
I do put it to a good use.
There you go. Thanks for the call, Gianni, calling from Monticello. Look, again, here's that same conversation about change. Just because we're addicted, some people are addicted to getting mail every day, doesn't mean we should continue to do that every day but Sunday. And as a matter of fact, post office is apparently delivering packages on Sunday now. We don't need to continue that behavior. And we've found ways in recent years to make the post office more efficient, mainly by managing some of their retirement and pension costs. But why in the world, when, in my case, Johnny's case, maybe your case, most of it's junk mail? And by the way, you want to be even more efficient? Charge more for the junk mail. Why would we let all those folks off the hook? If we're paying 60 cents or whatever the cost of a stamp is now, because I never buy stamps, why would we let all the junk mailers off the hook? Pay the cost. How about a little vig for the post office for delivering all that junk? From the 262, definitely don't want the bills. From the 414, only thing I look forward to in getting the mail is wedding invitations from friends and family. We just got one of those recently. Other than that, it's mostly junk mail. Here's a side question that my wife and I argue about all the time. I say a thank you email is just fine. She says, nope. I disagree. I think it's just fine. No, spend some time on it. Be thoughtful. Not a thanks for the gift, Steve. That wouldn't be appropriate. But a nice, thoughtful, spend some time, craft a paragraph or two. Other than buying a card, putting your name in it, and then buying a stamp, sending it to the post office and getting, what does that accomplish? Other than keeping all the greeting card company happy. Dennis joins us from Milwaukee. Hi, Dennis.
Hi, Steve. How you doing?
I'm good. What do you think?
Steve, I am diametrically against reducing the number of days in which the post office delivers mail. If you're the post office, why would you put yourself at a competitive disadvantage against UPS, United Parcel Service, and Federal Express? If you're a shipper and you have a choice between the three entities as to who to ship with, why would you choose the post office if they deliver only 2 days a week, whereas the others deliver 5 days a week?
I would
and
say this. Go ahead. Make your point.
A lot of people don't know. I recently mailed something at UPS, and during the discussion, they said, the guy at UPS said that they were going to use the post office to ship the item.
Mm-hmm. I heard the same thing. We thanks for the call, Dennis. We heard the same thing when we mailed a package overseas. Look, that's a different story. I'm talking about the stuff that fills our mailboxes and our post boxes. I'm not talking about a package, a mailing envelope that's unusual size. Those things could be delivered every day, but that's not to every house. It's a distinction, but it's an important one. We are literally going to every home with a mailing address or apartment or condo or you name it, apartment building, every day. Maybe the post office just maybe could be more efficient if they actually can focus on the people that are getting packages, and then twice a week, all the other stuff comes. What days that is, I don't know, whatever makes most sense for the post office. They're the bosses. They're in charge. But don't be afraid of that change. And if there's a medical reason, i.e. prescriptions, those can be exceptions to the rule. There's so many ways you can interact with the post office now, including, by the way, I just learned this recently. You can let them know when you're on vacation so they can hold your mail. You can do it all online now. I think you start at USPS.com. All online. You can actually see what's going to be delivered to your house online, because every piece of mail, for the most part, has a picture taken of the envelope. From the 920, my husband and I just turned 65, and the Medicare insurance mailings are ridiculous. Yes, I've been bombarded as well, because I just turned 65. Joe from Atlanta. That's a small business owner who offices from home. I rely on the U.S. mail to deliver payments from clients, and not all are willing to pay electronically. Could always be exceptions. Maybe a choose. Here's another one. Thinking outside the box. Since we have that connection now, the virtual connection from the individual to the post office, USPS.com. I choose daily. I choose once a week. Put the power in the individual, the customer. Why are we afraid of that? Change can be good. That's been like the mission statement of this hour. All right, another break. We'll set up the 11 o'clock hour, and then we have news, of course, and then Chef Michael Fecker, who's in the building. Saw a smiling face earlier. We'll tee up that conversation about Thanksgiving and beyond after this quick break.
It's WTMJ Now.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Our production department really kicked it into gear this season, and we finished before we thought we would. And we'd like to keep our people working until the snow flies, so we're going to offer a discount. Now, a lot of discounts you hear about, they're just off an already inflated rate that ends up right in the same slot as everybody else. In this case, because we're past our break-even point, we can offer a real discount. And here it is. We can afford to take 10% off your roofing project if you call and sign up before the end of the year. If we can't get to it because the weather turns south on us, we'll still hold your price for next year. And this isn't some fugazi discount. It's 10% off what our pricing would normally be. It's for roofs only, and it expires at the end of the year. So take advantage of a nice discount on top quality workmanship from good people who care. We're Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. WTMJ Now.
Too much mail coming to the old house. That's my opinion. What's yours? Dave joins us on the phone. Hi, Dave.
Yes, how are you?
I am good on this Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
Look, I still like getting my magazines. Hunting, fishing, Newsweek, financial magazine. My eyes need a break, as well as, I apologize, but if I go to use the restroom and I'd like to take a magazine versus my phone.
So you're old school. You're old school in your consumption of the news of the world or whatever your interests are. So you like to take the magazine. So how about a system where we opt in, whether we want it every day, whether we want it once a week? Should we not have, as USPS customers, that option?
Yeah, I'd say a couple times a week or something like that is plenty. I mean, because, yes, predominantly everything else that comes in there is junk.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Dave, calling from the reasonable state of Illinois. Bob from Economowoc quickly. Hi, Bob.
Hi.
How are you?
Pretty good, and I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving.
All right, me too.
The federal government and the state of Wisconsin only communicates through the mail.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do any emailing thing. If they need to get a hold of you, that's what they do. So to avoid fraud, is what their reason is. So, but for that, we don't really need even that information that timely that we couldn't have every second or third day have mail and then no mail the rest of the time.
I hear you, Bob. Thanks for the call. I get it. Yes. Change is a good thing. I've said it all throughout this hour on a number of different subjects. Just because we've always done it that way doesn't mean we always have to do it that way. And sometimes efficiency is a driver for even greater technology and vice versa. All right, news is next, and then Chef Michael Fecker in studio. All coming up, 11 o'clock hour, WTMJ Now.
More of WTMJ Now after this.
Do you check your savings account and wonder if you're even saving at all? At Town Bank, we view banking differently and actually want to see your savings grow. With our amazing new CD rates, you can now earn even more, so you can sit back and relax. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results, and start earning more. Go to townbank.us/locknewrates or visit a Town Bank branch nearest you today. Bank differently with Town Bank. Member FDIC.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Greg Scalzo for Smart Spaces. How can Smart Spaces transform your business?
The technology frustrations we hear about, hands down, ease of use.
We take that complexity out of it and keep it down to the bare minimum of what they need and what they use.
Our goal is to lend a level of simplicity that any knowledge level can walk into that room and at a glance know exactly how to turn that room on and utilize all of its features.
Let Smart Spaces transform your business today. Visit smartspaceswi.com.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests. Keeping you informed, keeping you safe, keeping you engaged and entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 11 o'clock, 41 degrees, the high today, 44 with that rain, snow mix still lingering, otherwise cloudy and windy today. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Eric Bilstad. Keeping an eye on a situation 894 northbound. Heads up there, we had a right lane blocked near Cleveland Avenue. It looks like they've just cleared that up, so things should be starting to move a little bit more smoothly in that stretch. We're having some backups there. We'll get an update on all the roads here coming up in just a couple of minutes. In Madison.
Yes, Your Honor. And even to use Justice Bradley, the definition that Justice
Arguments
Bradley
are being made in the state Supreme Court right now as justices here debate over legislative maps. A Democratic lawsuit wants to overturn GOP-drawn maps that will result in new, more favorable legislative maps for the elections in 2024. Now, the court was expected to issue its ruling no later than 2024. Early next year is what the plan is expected to be. Now, the State Elections Commission has said maps must be in place by March 15th if the new districts are to be in play for the 2024 election. The community of Waukesha is going to gather this afternoon to mark the 2-year anniversary of the Christmas parade tragedy that took the lives of 6 people, injured more than 60 others. At exactly 4:39 this afternoon, the city will commemorate a new memorial at the 5 Points intersection downtown. Alderwoman Alicia Helvensleben tells Wisconsin's Morning News that safety was a top priority in order to calm any nerves.
I know that initially a lot of folks felt kind of weird or strange or afraid to go down onto Main Street. But I've really seen that change, and it changed pretty quickly because we came together as a community to make sure that we were putting things in place to help protect the community.
Families of some of the victims are expected to speak this afternoon. Also expect more on Wisconsin's Afternoon News and on WTMJ's What's on Tap tonight. The Wisconsin Public Service Commission will decide today whether or not another round of rate hikes is in store for We Energy's customers.
Just 1 year after double-digit rate hikes, utility customers are in line for another increase this winter that would amount to a 14.4% price increase since 2022. Public Service Commissioners today will also decide an increase in the cost of natural gas service for We Energy's 2 gas companies. The Milwaukee Journal Sentinel reports increased costs are expected to be partially offset by reduced operating and maintenance costs. We Energy's estimates monthly heating bills will be $5 to $10 lower than last winter. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Busy travel days ahead of the Thanksgiving Day holiday today, tomorrow, and on Sunday. Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport's Christy Green.
We are recommending that you arrive 2 hours early, especially if you're checking a bag, and to download the MKE Smart Park app where you can make reservations to guarantee your parking availability.
Weather back east could slow some things down. We'll see. And President Biden says it looks like at least some of the hostages being held by Hamas in the Middle East could be coming home soon. The terror group kidnapped more than 200 people, including Americans, during the attack on Israel back in early October. Now, senior political sources in Israel tell ABC that Israel's government plans to vote soon on a proposed agreement. Time now for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Right now, the Dow is down 79 to 35,071. The NASDAQ is down 107 to 14,177. And the S&P is down 12 to 4534. Ready for investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary? Go to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button now. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:04.
This report is sponsored by the Froedtert Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin, so there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit froedtert.com/cancer.
In the heart of downtown Milwaukee, there's an all-new Potawatomi Casino Hotel, where there's a table waiting for you at 12 bars and restaurants, a winning seat at 40 table games or 3,000 slot machines, plus the thrill of bingo, full-service sports betting, and more. Are you ready to spark something new? Light up your senses at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Explore more at paysbig.com.
Set your independence in motion. It starts with PACE at Community Care. The program of all-inclusive care for the elderly, also known as PACE, offers complete medical and long-term care services. A team of dedicated healthcare professionals coordinates all aspects of care to support independent living as long as possible. Learn more about a community that cares. Visit joinpacewi.com or call 833-900-PACE. That's joinpacewi.com or call 833-900-PACE.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update.
The Milwaukee Bucks made it 5 straight wins as Giannis drops 42 and the Deer casting a spell on the Wizards in Washington, winning by a final score of 142 to 129.
Giannis now, a little hesitation. He'll take it inside, and there's no stopping that freight train. Giannis flushes it through with a big swooping jam.
Chris Middleton also added 18. He passed Sidney Moncrief for 4th place on the Bucks' all-time scoring list. Next up for Milwaukee is a primetime showdown in Boston on Wednesday night. To the NFL, where a rematch of Super Bowl 57 did not disappoint on Monday night as the Philadelphia Eagles soared past the Kansas City Chiefs in a thrilling Monday night football game, winning by a final score of 21-17. And lastly, in college hoops throughout the state, number 4 ranked Marquette beat UCLA 71-69, and the Badgers knocking off Virginia by a final of 65-41. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. An earlier accident near 894 northbound. This is near Cleveland that had the right lane blocked. There's a fire truck involved. That's been cleared. So any delays there should quickly dissipate. 94 eastbound, Highway 16 all the way into downtown. That's looking good at the moment. 4145 south, Highway Q to the zoo. No real issues there. And 43 southbound is delay-free, or at least there's nothing blocking it from Brown Deer Road into downtown. That should be a 12 to 14-minute trip.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Be our eyes on the roads. Report incidents to the WTMJ hallmazdamilwaukee.com traffic tip line, 414-238-9329. Visit Hall Mazda during Mazda's season of inspiration.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast still dealing with a little bit of a rain-snow mix at times. Otherwise becoming cloudy and windy today, a high of 44. Tonight, cloudy, breezy, a low of 34. Wednesday, sunny and nice, a high of 46. Thanksgiving Day, Thursday, sunny and windy, a high of 45. Friday, sunny, high of 40. Saturday, sunny but cooler, a high of 38 degrees. on Saturday. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 39. I'm Eric Bilstead, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:08.
It's WTMJ Now. News, opinions, Wisconsin. Everything you need to know in the Badger State and beyond. Here's your host, Steve Scaffidi.
All right, Thanksgiving's coming up Thursday, or is it? No, just kidding. I was teasing people about moving today, and then people get all upset. Joining me, he's the guy that all the Fecker foodies, that's what they're called, right?
Yes, sir.
Chef Michael Fecker, the Fecker foodies, they track me down. Like, when's Fecker coming on? They run down the aisle at a store, which I'm rarely in. When's Michael Fecker coming back on? What's his email? What's his website?
Well, first of all, good morning, everybody. Well, thank you for having me back.
Did I forget to say good morning? I already said good morning to you out there.
I'm here, everybody.
Yes.
I'm yours.
All right, so a couple things. Now, you and I talked last time about Italy.
Yes.
And I've had a lot of fun. You ran into one of my Italian...
Sandy.
Yeah.
Hello, Sandy. I told you I'm going to give you a shout. Yeah, from Stevens Point. Yeah, exactly. She was at Il Mito, and she grabbed me and said, let Steve know that I was here having dinner.
Sandy's a lot of fun.
We
had a blast in Italy. We drank too much wine, and everyone behaved themselves. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Yes.
Anyway, so that was just the Italian thing I wanted to get in there. All right, So as you know, Thanksgiving Thursday.
Yes.
So I already got questions coming in, and you can get your questions in for the chef, 855-616-1620, as we delve into the area too, that fits, of holiday cooking. We're going to do.
Right.
We're actually going to record a special holiday cooking show with Chef Michael Fecker with some Christmas music.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that, Steve.
Yeah, we're going to record it next week and play it throughout the holidays.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope all of the listeners are going to throw as many questions that they can at me, for Thanksgiving, because really Thanksgiving is a wonderful time to give thanks, but sometimes we just don't want to give thanks because we're so stressed. And I want to take that stress away from you guys. Just keep it simple, and I will talk to you about all the details of cooking turkey and all the sides. Whatever questions you have, I would love to answer.
All right, there's a growing number of people, because I see it on the text line already, that don't want to cook turkey. Too hard, they say. Come on.
Very difficult. They feel it's very difficult because the internal temperature of the turkey has to be 165 so that we have no bacteria growth. They overcook it. We always forget the poor bird is dead already. We don't need to kill it a second time, guys.
So, first of all, get a meat thermometer, right?
Yes.
The new ones are amazing.
Yes, they are. Or use a bulletproof technique that I call reverse roasting. That means we start very high, then we lower it to a very low temperature. By lowering it, we allow the water that is going to turn to steam, not turn to steam, but still be hot enough to cook the turkey, but come to the meat and keep it juicy. That is called reverse roasting. We do the same thing with searing steak, for example.
High heat, then low heat.
High heat, exactly. That recipe is going to be at cheffecker.com, and you can download it. It's a very simple. So I'm going to tell you immediately and very easily. Ready? Okay. You look at how large your turkey is. 10 pounds. Let's go with 10 pounds for right now. 500 degrees for the first 30 minutes. Then you lower it to 200 degrees and you go 15 minutes per pound. You can't go wrong. And it's so easy to do it that way. And always keep the stuffing outside the bird, because by keeping it inside, you have to cook internal temperature of the stuffing to 185. Because it's not the raw sausage in the stuffing that gets you sick. It's the juices of the turkey dripping in there that gets you sick.
So you don't put the stuffing inside?
I don't put the stuffing. I do the stuffing outside of the turkey. Once I'm ready, the day of service, I put it inside the turkey, and I warm up the turkey at 500 degrees for another 30 minutes.
All right, so what's the optimum temperature for a thermometer in a turkey?
165.
165.
165.
Then you know it's done.
That's right. But then this is what I want you to remember, guys. When you turn off the oven or you take the turkey out, because it's such a large piece of protein, it doesn't stop cooking. So you go with your thermometer at 155, you pull the turkey out, and you let it sit tented with a piece of aluminum. In 20 minutes, by the time it's cool, it's already at 165.
What's your thoughts on letting it rest if you carve right away?
Always let it rest.
How long?
20 to 30 minutes for a piece of for a turkey, 10 to 12 pounds.
All right. So I got a bunch of questions already. Brine versus no brine.
Yes, I love brining because what you do in brining, we call this osmosis. The salt content of your brine opens the pores of the turkey, pulls out some of the water, but infuses it with more seasoned water. So in your brine, add all the dry spices that you like paprika, garlic salt, everything that you wish. Put it in there. It's going to go penetrate. Then people eat your turkey and go, oh my God, how'd you get all these flavors in this turkey? And because it's been infused with more liquid, it stays nice and moist.
All right, so I get this one a lot. Defrosting a turkey.
Yes.
What's the trick?
The trick to defrosting a turkey, if you're going to brine, you don't need to defrost the turkey. You just put the turkey in there and it defrosts. But the trick to defrosting a turkey is leaving it out in your garage, covered with a piece of plastic. And the best way to cover a turkey is to put it in a garbage bag, tie the garbage bag, and leave it outside into your garage for 24 hours, and it's going to be defrosted.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay, so 262, 30 minutes at 500 for a 20-pound turkey?
For 20-pound turkey, it's going to be the same thing. 30 minutes at 500 degrees. Then you reduce it to 200. From that moment, you go 15 minutes per pound. 20 times 15, that's 300 minutes.
Barb joins us from Wabeno. Hi, Barb.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's your question?
I have this giant 25-pound turkey that my neighbor harvested for me, and I'm afraid it's not going to fit in my oven. So I'd like to spatchcock it. What hints can you give me on spatchcocking a turkey?
Well, hi, Barb. How are you? Well, spatchcocking a turkey.
I'm a little nervous about my turkey.
I know, I would be too. That's a big turkey. So, spatchcocking a turkey, basically, you open it up and then you take some of the bone out, then you roll it by adding, putting other ingredients in there. You're making your life very difficult, Bart, for no reason. What I would do in this case, I would take the backbone of the turkey out and I open it up. I butterfly the turkey.
Yep, that's what I was going to do.
Yeah, that's perfect. Then that way you can put it in the roasting pan and go into the oven. Now, meanwhile, what I want you to do to make sure that it doesn't dry out, take some compound butter. That means butter that is at room temperature. Mix it with some garlic, some lemon juice, some mustard if you wish, different herbs, and put it between the skin and the flesh of the turkey with the breast side up and let it cook. Do the same technique that I told you. Start at 500 degrees for 30 minutes, pardon me, reduce to 200 and go 15 minutes per pound. So if your turkey is at 25 pounds, multiply that by 15.
Thanks for the call, Barb, calling from Wabeno. A lot of detail in there.
Oh, yes.
That doesn't seem easy to me.
It doesn't. It's not. 25. Look, Steve, something very interesting and very important. Try to get 2 smaller turkeys than 125 because a turkey that has grown to be 25 pounds, the meat has also aged in that process. It's very fibrous and it dries out very fast.
Do you make the turkey or do you go somewhere and have it?
No, I love to go and get pampered during Thanksgiving. I want to give thanks. I don't want to be screaming. No, this year what I did, Steve, I made turkeys for everybody. So my customers called. They ordered the turkey. I brined it. I seasoned it. I put the compound butter in there with a bulletproof recipe. I gave it to them. They're picking it up today, and they're putting it in the oven tomorrow. Done.
Very nice. Chef Michael Fecker joining us for the hour today. If you have a question, I've got a lot of stuffing questions. We're going to get to those next.
Yes.
You raised some eyebrows with the out of the turkey stuffing. So people are asking very specific. As I say that, there's a picture of carving ham and turkey on the TV.
Yeah. I'm
going to ask you about ham, too, because we're going to have that at our house.
Of course.
All right, Chef Michael Fecker. Lots more questions. 855-616-1620, the Old National Bank. Talking text line. Talking turkey with Chef Michael Fecker, who's not a turkey. More after this.
Don't you go anywhere.
More of WTMJ now after this.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Do you hear that hissing sound? I think it's the sound of some steam being let out of the fall housing market. As the average 30-year fixed rate has crept toward 8%, some buyers have taken a break. Homes aren't selling on the first weekend anymore. Some are still selling over asking, but fewer and by not as much. Some sellers are even willing to chip in toward buyer closing costs to get their asking price. Now, do you hear that knocking sound? That's opportunity. Opportunity for well-prepared home shoppers. This dip in homebuyer demand is not going to last, and mortgage rates are forecast to dip next year. Here's the best part. AccuNet can show you how to use a seller closing cost credit to lower your monthly payment by $100 or maybe even $200 a month for the first year or two while we wait for the refi window of opportunity to open, which we can typically accomplish with no loan costs. It's your choice, fear or opportunity. Click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com and become a confident, opportunistic, rock-solid home shopper. That's ACCUNET.com.
If you can't get a good night's sleep, let me ask you, are you breathing well? Because if you're snoring or waking up each night with a stuffed-up nose, or frustrated with your CPAP mask, the root of your sleep problem lies in your breathing triangle. And if any one of those passages isn't working, you won't sleep well. And there's no mattress, pill, or other gimmick that can fix that. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. A recipe for a good night's sleep starts with an open airway. Now, there are devices that can help solve snoring or sleep apnea problems. If you walk into a sleep center, know you'll walk out with a CPAP. And you might find other options elsewhere. But the simple truth is, if your nose doesn't work properly, no device will help. Only at Advent will you find every effective snoring and sleep apnea solution, along with a world-class team that can get your nose working properly again.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
AdventKnows.com. WTMJ Now.
Chef Michael Fecker of El Mito and Dobie's, and what are your other restaurants out there in restaurant land?
There's Zesty, El Mito Cafe in Delafield, Dobie's and in St. Francis, and El Mito in Wauwatosa.
And one of the cool things about you is, I'm going to take you up on this next year, is we can actually come and watch you cook and see the process.
Absolutely, yeah. Look, coming to my chef's counter is like going to an artist's studio. You see why I do what I do. When you're at the restaurant, you still get the art, except it's like on a canvas. You don't ask the artist, what are you doing that? How is that done? So on and so forth. I love sharing those things.
So you are talking while you're doing this?
Oh, absolutely. Not only I'm talking, I'm a doctor, I am a plumber. I can tell you all of those things. I fix your table. What do you mean? Of course.
All right, lots. You got people's eyebrows raised when you talked about the out-of-the-bird stuffing, because most people do it the opposite.
Right.
From the 414, I'm not roasting a turkey, but I've been asked to make stuffing. I can't do the stovetop. How do you make the out-of-the-bird stuffing?
That's a wonderful question. First of all, let me tell you the name. It is called the dressing. The Southerners do that all the time, and they call it dressing. Once you stuff the bird, that's a stuffing. Once you put it outside is dressing. So what you do is you do the following. You dice your bread, you cut your vegetables, you do all of the ingredients that you want to put inside your stuffing. You just put it outside. You put it in a Pyrex or a oven-proof dish, and you cover a piece of aluminum foil, and you put it in the oven at 375 for 40 minutes. You're going to have the most magnificent. Now, for a natural glue, there is a saying or there is a trick that they use eggs. I don't like to use eggs in my stuffing. I put shredded cheese here and there, so it works as a glue and holds the whole stuffing together.
All right, so a lot of people asking about sausage, chorizo, Italian sausage.
Whoever is just suggesting chorizo, that means they like Mexican flavors. That is a beautiful
What's that
concept.
crazy spice you always talk about?
Tajin. Yeah, I think we increase their sales by how much?
We should be getting a commission on that.
Yeah, I know. So still, chorizo is phenomenal. And the fat content and the flavors penetrate into your stuffing. Italian sausage is great with the fennel and all of those flavors in there. So that's going to be great. I have a friend of mine, Don Jordan from Boucher Cadillac, that is listening. He loves his stuffing. And that's why he always asks me to make it for him.
That's my favorite side.
Yeah, I totally agree.
What's your worst side? You don't want to see it.
Come on. I don't have one.
It's the jellied cranberry sauce. In a can, come on.
Come on. But I tell you something. People like it because of that pectin and that gelatin texture. I personally don't. Yeah, that is not a side to me. I don't think that should be anywhere.
I think more of that cranberry sauce has been scraped into garbage cans on Thanksgiving than probably any other item.
I totally agree with you. Yeah. I totally agree with you.
But we want to support the cranberry industry because it's very big in Wisconsin.
Yeah, but we can do it even better. Buy frozen cranberry, a little bit of brown sugar, and some white wine. Throw in the fresh cranberries in there, cover it, and cook it for 20 minutes. You got a cranberry sauce.
See,
you
that
don't
sounds
need to do
better.
the jelly.
That sounds better.
Oh, my God. With the sour notes of the cranberry, it's going to be beautiful.
Do that one more time slowly because people are already asking about it. What was that?
Okay. You're going to take 1 cup of sugar. Write it down, everybody. 1 cup of sugar, a 1/4 cup or 2 ounces of white wine, and you're going to warm it up. You're going to put 2 cups of cranberry that is frozen in there, cover it, turn down the heat, and cook it for 30 minutes. There's your cranberry sauce. It's not rocket science. Easy.
And we got great cranberries here right in the state of Wisconsin.
That's
right. A lot of people asking again about the temperature and cooking a turkey.
Got it.
Let's go through that slowly. For
okay, my friends, listen to this, okay? It doesn't matter how many pounds your turkey is. The recipe and the technique doesn't change. Here we go. Whatever the pound of your turkey is, the size of your turkey, 500 degrees for 30 minutes to start. Without opening the oven, reduce to 200 degrees per pound, 15 minutes. So if it's a 10-pounder, it's 150 minutes. If it's a 20-pounder, it's 300 minutes. And that's exactly, it doesn't matter what the size of the turkey is.
Do you have a good recipe for a carrot dish?
A carrot dish, yes.
Like glazed carrots?
Glazed carrots. But we have maple syrup. If you have maple syrup at home, saute some garlic with olive oil. Put your carrots in there, pour your maple syrup on it, cover the pan, reduce the heat, let it cook. By the time your carrots are basically soft, you're going to have a beautiful natural glaze on them.
A lot of people asking about the sausage cooked before you put into the stuffing?
Yes. You know, one of the reasons you want to do that for 2 reasons. You don't want to have raw sausage in there. 2, you want to render the fat out of the sausage so it gives flavor to your stuffing. That's the main reason you do that.
You mentioned olive oil. A lot of people asking what kind of olive oil you're talking about.
I only cook with extra virgin, and the extra virgin olive oil has a smoke point of 385 degrees. So don't fall for this, grapeseed has higher avocado oil. Whatever needs to get processed for you, I don't want you to touch it. If God didn't make it, you're not allowed to take it.
You just come up with that? That's good.
Hey, oh my God, I'm amazing. I amaze myself, guys.
Chef Michael Fecker joining us. Question for the chef. I think I get this. What to put on the outside and the inside of a turkey when you're cooking it.
Okay.
You know what that means?
Yes, absolutely. Inside is basically the cavity of the turkey. Cut lemons in half, rosemary, thyme, sage, your favorite herbs. My law doesn't matter. It's your law. It's your flavor. Whatever herbs that you like, okay, you take the leaves off, you break the stems, and you put it in the cavity. Lemon, squeeze it on the turkey, throw in the halves in there, and then season the inside, just you season the outside. A little bit of oil, olive oil I would prefer, and then you season it with whatever you want to season it with, such as salt, pepper, paprika, anything else. What you put outside the turkey is the same thing that went inside the turkey, but there are 2 ways of doing it. One, you put it on the skin. Another, you put under the skin. I suggest the following. A compound butter, mixes of those herbs that you took the leaves out with butter, under the skin, on the skin, olive oil, and rub it with the same seasoning that you put in the cavity. Now, your palates are going to go to turkey heaven once you take a bite. That I promise you.
Bridget has a question from Brookfield. Hi, Bridget.
Hi.
Hi, Bridget.
My question is, you said about putting the turkey in the oven at 500 degrees for 30 minutes. But what I was wondering is, do you cover it with aluminum foil?
Nothing, Bridget. You don't cover it with anything. If you do, then the turkey, the steam is going to make it mushy. What you're trying to do at that high temperature is just to warm up the exterior and crisp your skin a little bit. So the skin releases its fat inside the meat.
Okay, but then after you turn it down to 200, do you cover it?
You don't cover any time at all. Through the entire cooking process, you leave it at 200. You know something else, Bridget, that if you're going to do this technique, you can, especially for those of you that have least or very small ovens or need to use our ovens for other things, you can do the turkey the night before. You take it out and you put it in the refrigerator or, again, on the milk carton or something in the garage covered. The day of service, you turn your oven back to 500 degrees again, and for 30 minutes, you put the turkey back inside the oven. It warms up, it crisps up the skin, and you don't need to worry about the damn turkey overcooking or undercooking, because maybe Janet is going to call and say, I forgot my earrings, I'm going to be an hour late. What are you going to do then? The turkey is going to overcook.
A lot of people are asking for the recipes again. We'll reiterate those after the break. Chef
Absolutely.
Michael Fecker joining us in studio. We're also going to record a holiday special on all kinds of holiday cooking next week that will run throughout the holiday season here on WTMJ. You're listening, of course, to WTMJ Now. More with the chef after this.
Love you guys.
More of WTMJ Now after this.
Hi, it's Samantha with Heiser. This month is all about appreciation and gratitude, and we want to thank you. Thank you so much for allowing Heiser to take care of all of your vehicle needs the past 106 years. Whether it's for sales, service, or collision work, we wouldn't be here without each of you. Visit Heiser.com for all of our monthly specials, and we hope you have an amazing month celebrating what you're thankful for. Because at Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
Old National Bank.
I just got your home equity loan, and this feeling of joy and exhilaration overcame me.
Yeah, it's a phenomenon we call getting old.
Wow, so I'm not the only one?
No, small business owners feel it with expansion loans. Families feel it when they're setting up trusts and 529s. Nonprofits who need financing to help the community. And anyone who needs investment advice, they all feel it.
So it's not just me?
No, you're in a pretty big club.
Like a club I can join?
I really don't.
Is there at least a secret handshake?
Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Old National. Get old. Member FDIC.
Stop into Ken Michaels Furniture for our sale on Bradington Young. Made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, Bradington Young is an American icon in quality leather upholstery. Whether you are looking for power recliners or stationary seating, Bradington Young's furniture is made with enduring quality, outstanding comfort, and timeless styling. Save up to 40% now on Bradington Young upholstery at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield and Greenfield. Visit us today. Give yourself the gift of sound sleep with a mattress set from Ken Michaels Furniture and Milwaukee Mattress. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses are custom built to your specifications. We offer special sizing, waterproofing, extra cushioning, and a variety of other options to accommodate your needs. Buy a mattress and a box spring set this week and get free delivery. For the best sleep of your life, stop into Ken Michaels Furniture on Highway 100 in Greenfield and Capitol Drive in Brookfield.
WTMJ Now.
We are solving all your Thanksgiving cooking questions with Chef Michael Fecker. We got one from the 414. Is it okay to put the turkey in one of those oven bags?
Absolutely it is.
There you go. You're on.
Yeah, I'm on now. Okay. Absolutely it is. Oven bags make a lot of sense, and the reason they do is basically they trap the moisture of the turkey. So when it's releasing its moisture as steam, it has nowhere to go. It goes back into the turkey and it cooks it for you in a moist way. But when you use the oven bag, make sure the last 10 minutes, your turkey's got to come out of the bag. Otherwise, you're going to get that smell and flavor that is not going to be very enjoyable. You need to crisp it up by bringing it out of the bag. Oven bags are great for cooking the day before. And then the last 30 minutes of the day of, you out of the bag and you put it inside the oven.
A couple of people ask, what is compound butter?
Compound butter is when butter has other components into it. And it's a classic dish from France that they use on steaks. This is the way I do it. You can make any compound butter you love, Steve. So whatever you like, you add to your butter. Garlic, sage, paprika again, tajin if you like. It doesn't matter. You just add it to your butter and you mix it, and there's your compound butter.
Paul from Menominee Falls has a question for the chef. Hey, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hi there.
What's your question?
Hello?
Yes, we hear you.
Yes, you're here.
Yeah, I'm doing, I'm spatchcocking a 20-pound turkey, and I'm going to put it on the pellet grill. I'm intending on injecting it with garlic and butter. Any other tips for me?
No, actually, that is absolutely fine. I am not a big fan of injecting because injecting is, we call it spot seasoning. Wherever the needle goes, that's where it's going to get injected with the flavor. Everywhere else is not going to flow through. So if I were you, because you're doing it, basically you're smoking it, correct? You're using a pellet grill?
He's hung up, but...
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, you're using a smoker. So, basically, what I would do, I would put that butter, like I told you, under the skin and the flesh and season it with the garlic and everything else that you were going to put it in the injector. But ultimately, the choice is yours. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Okay?
Andy from Burlington, a great question. Recommending any wines or beers that pair well with a traditional Thanksgiving dinner?
Oh, absolutely. Beautiful. First of all, remember, anytime in doubt, you use sparkling or you serve beer. That means what? Something that has bubbles in it. It cleanses your palates. So what I think with turkey, a Moscato, if you want to go a little bit sweet, would be great. A Sauvignon Blanc is going to go great if you want to go white. Red Pinot Noir, you can't go wrong with it. But the rule of choosing wine and drinks is this. Whatever you love is the right drink.
All right, so this one is someone's going against your recommendation. They're stuffing the bird.
That's fine.
And then cooking it. How much time do you add if you do it that way?
Well,
that's got to be thermometer.
That's
right?
a thermometer thing. I do not want you to take a risk of not undercooking the stuffing because that's going to get you sick. So what I want you to do is you put the thermometer to 185 degrees. Remember, my friends, when your interior temperature of your stuffing is at 185, your turkey is already at 200. It is going to be dry and you're not going to be happy. That one is going to make a lot of sense if you use a bag.
All right, one more before we go to break. If you deep fry a turkey, which is very popular nowadays, can you put any herbs or spices in the cavity before you start frying?
Absolutely, you can.
You just got to make sure it's closed up.
You just got to tie it up in a way that it doesn't come out because the oil is going to push it out. But absolutely, you can. And when you're frying, make sure you're completely defrosted. Otherwise, you're going to have those fires that you keep hearing after Thanksgiving.
All right, think about this one during the break. Is it possible that we could hear the chef on a podcast? You and I have talked about this.
Oh, yeah. We have talked about this a long time. Steve and I, we're going to surprise you with many things in 2024.
Yes, we're just getting warmed up.
That's right.
Even in this half
hour.
You
better believe it.
If you have a question for Chef Michael Fecker, Thanksgiving or otherwise, 855-616-1620, the Old National Bank talk and text line. We're going to do it again after this.
Absolutely. I'm ready. Love you guys.
More of WTMJ now after this.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Hey, this is WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi for Omaha Steaks at omahasteaks.com. Great deal right now running on their website. 50% off site-wide sale and $30 off your order at checkout. Minimum order may be required, but now is the time. Surprise somebody. I just got a gift on my front porch the other day. Absolutely love it. Already had the scalloped potatoes. Great side dish. Awesome. You can experience that as well. The quality, convenience, everything you need to deliver an unforgettable holiday gift experience. Maybe a gift for someone who did something nice for you. Make your own Omaha Steaks memories. Go to omahasteaks.com. Take advantage of 50% off site-wide. Plus, use promo code WTMJ at checkout. Get an additional $30 off your order. Delicious, juicy, extra-aged steaks. Bacon-wrapped filet mignon's your thing. They got great chicken, great size, as I said. All come right to your front door. Omaha Steaks, the possibilities are endless. Endless flavor, endless value. Visit omahasteaks.com. Save big right now. 50% off site-wide. That sale, plus promo code WTMJ at checkout. Extra $30 off your order. Don't wait. They're going to be busy. Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals at Omaha Steaks will be gone before you know it. One more time, omahasteaks.com. Promo code WTMJ at checkout. Minimum order may be required.
Hey, Brian. I think it's time to get serious about new windows and front door for our home.
I agree. It will save us money in the long run to eliminate the draft.
I was thinking more about our curb appeal, but yes, the draft thing too.
J&J Contractors in Greendale have been around for 40 years and have great reviews.
Go give them a call.
J&J Contractors' skilled and certified team uses high-quality materials for all your exterior needs. J&J Contractors do it all. Windows, doors, siding, roofing, and gutters.
It's WTMJ Now.
We are spending the hour with my pal, Chef Michael Fecker. Name the restaurants for people and go slow because they're writing them down.
Il Mito, I-L-M-I-T-O in Wauwatosa. Il Mito Cafe in Delafield. Zesty in Heartland. And Dobie's Steaks and More in St. Francis.
I've been to two of those, and they're fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
And some of my friends who I took to El Mito said it was one of the best Italian meals they've ever had in their life, and they go to a lot of restaurants.
Thank you. That means a lot.
All right. So Mary Lynn is first up from Pewaukee, Wisconsin. Hi, Mary Lynn. What's your question?
Well, good morning. Yes.
Good morning, Mary
Do
Lynn.
they still sell capons? Yes. Good morning, Chef.
Yes,
My
dear.
mother used to make capons because the turkeys got to be too heavy for her to carry.
Got it.
So do they still sell a capon at the store?
They do. Not. I have not seen. It's very interesting you say that. I have not seen them at many stores. I can order them through a meat company, but you cannot. I haven't seen them. I wish I could, but because they have a totally different flavor, they're basically a little bit more aged than the chickens are.
Here's what we'll do, Mary Lynn. If anyone knows of where you can buy capons, we'll announce it on the show before the chef leaves us. So thanks for the call, Mary Lynn. A lot of questions about basting.
Yeah.
Are you a baster?
I love it. I love basting because as the pores of the protein, whether it's a roast or it's turkey, open, when you take those juices and you pour it over it, it penetrates into that pores and takes that flavor and gives it to the meat or to the protein. The only problem with basting is you got to be quick about it because every time you open the oven door, temperature is escaping. You need to worry about that. That's it. Just be quick about it.
Yeah,
that's all.
Just get the baster. Be ready. Put your smartphone down. You don't need to be talking while you're doing it. Just focus on what you're doing.
Yeah, no texting while you're basting.
All right, this is a big one as well. This is often a make it or break it moment for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Gravy. Texter says their gravy never turns out. What's the trick?
Okay, first of all, when you make gravy, you're basically taking the juices that are in the pan and you're blending it with some thickening agent. What I do in the turkeys that I do for my guests or for my customers, I put a carrot and an onion underneath the turkey and I set the turkey on top. When I am ready to make my gravy, I take the juices and pour it in a clear container so the grease comes up. I take some of that grease out with the carrot, with the onion, with the celery, with all the stuff that's inside the cavity of the turkey. I blend the whole thing. That is my sauce. Now, all of those flavors are going to be in your basically gravy. But the problem, this is a 911 situation. Sometimes our gravy becomes clumpy because we add the flour at the wrong time.
What's the right time?
The right time is you add it when it's easy for you. Just run it through a strainer. You have a sieve or a strainer, pour your gravy over it, let it go through. You have no more lumps.
All right, so a lot of people asking about the recipes. Let's do the cranberry sauce one.
Got it.
And then the carrot one.
Yes, sir.
And go slow.
Okay, let's go cranberry, everybody. 1 cup of brown sugar, half a cup of white wine. If you want a little bit of sweetness, use a Zinfandel or something that you like, white Zinfandel. And then 2 cups of frozen cranberries.
Why does it have to be frozen, not fresh?
Because if it's fresh, it's the same. You can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So because you can sometimes get the frozen one easy. If you can't, use the fresh. If not, do not use the boxed ones because those have sugar in them. Add the cranberries into the wine and the sugar. Bring it to a boil. Reduce temperature to medium, low. Cover. Cook for 30 minutes. That's it. You got a cranberry sauce.
Okay. And then the carrot one, quickly?
The carrot one is basically, I'm going to go with 1 pound of carrots, okay? We're going to put 1 cup of maple syrup. We're going to add this little bit of nutmeg, whatever spices that you like, okay? Cover it and cook it until the carrots are soft. You're going to have a beautiful glaze.
You cut the carrots or leave them whole?
I get those little ones that I shave for Thanksgiving.
Okay, I probably got 20 different versions of this question, and it has to do with cooking a turkey in a Nesco. And I'm going to take a call from Janice, who's asking that.
You mean a slow cooker?
Yes.
Got it.
Janice, go ahead.
Hi, years ago, we always had the big old-fashioned Nescos. How long would you do your turkey in one of those?
God, Janet, I wish I could give you an exact answer. I don't really would know, but that is an awesome way of cooking a turkey. What I would do, I would cook my turkey all the way through with the thermometer so that the internal temperature of the thickest part of the thigh is at 155 degrees, 10 degrees below what is supposed to be. Take it out, finish it in a very hot oven for 20 minutes until the thermometer comes to 165. You're doing a dual technique here. You're cooking it with moisture, you're finishing it dry. That's a genius idea, Janice.
Okay, so Janice hung up, but hopefully a lot of people got the answer that they were looking for on the Nesco. That's a traditional Wisconsin thing.
I love it, though. It's so smart, Steve.
Yeah, you got to have a big one, though.
Yeah, I know.
All right, this one we're actually doing, so I'm glad that somebody asked this from the 414. We have I think a 16-pound turkey.
Got it.
We got that figured out. But we're making additional turkey legs. Best way to make those.
Okay. The best way to make turkey legs. You ready? You're going to first cook them in a broth. So you take your chicken broth, you put bay leaves in there, you put a can of beer in there, just like you're making broths. You put the chicken legs, the turkey legs in there, and you cook them all the way through. Then you roast them in the oven. Just the same thing I just told to Janice. Then you roast them in the oven just to crisp them up and give you that roasted flavor.
All right. We'll take another break here. Chef Michael Fecker, get those questions. They're coming in fast and furious. Chris, I see, is queued up on the phone line. We're talking to Chef Michael Fecker about Thanksgiving and other great culinary delights.
I love it.
All right. More after this.
WTMJ Now.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
The average 30-year fixed rate is the highest it's been in 23 years. But low overhead AccuNet still has some special 30-year fixed rate money for first-time Wisconsin homebuyers at a rate of 6.625%. That's right, 6.625 on a 30-year fixed with an APR as low as 6.8 with as little as 3% down. Household income limits apply and vary by household size and the county in which your new home is located. Now, you might be thinking this is too good to be true, but it is true, and it gets even a little better. AccuNet can also provide a 10-year fixed second mortgage at an APR of 6.625 to cover the minimum 3% down payment and closing costs. First-time buyers in today's market have an advantage. You don't have a home to sell, and the housing market is a little less competitive all of a sudden, too. Hear that sound? That's opportunity knocking. Answer the door and click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com for your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
Have you heard about the game-changing jewelry store that's now open just in time for the holidays? It's Diamonds Direct on Mayfair Road in front of Mayfair Mall. Diamonds Direct, started by former diamond wholesalers who decided to stop selling to jewelry stores and start selling direct to the public. No middleman, no nonsense, no pricing games. It's the only store here with a nationwide low price guarantee. And the selection is mind-blowing. Hand-picked diamonds in all shapes and sizes, from a half carat to 20 carats. And case after case of earrings, pendants, bands, bracelets. It's like shopping 30 stores at once. Plus, Diamonds Direct has all the designer rings women want. Names like Verragio, Henry Dawsey, and dozens more. If you're getting engaged or thinking jewelry for any occasion, your timing is perfect. A real direct diamond importer has finally arrived in Milwaukee with values you never thought possible. Discover the jewelry shopping concept that's sweeping across America. Now open here on Mayfair Road in front of Mayfair Mall. Learn more and get details at diamondsdirect.com.
Siding Unlimited named the best window installers, not just here, but in the whole USA. Get the best. Siding Unlimited, 3-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows, you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
Set your game plan for a new baseball season with the 2024 Brewers 4-Pack. Don't wait. Get yours by November 27th and get a 5th game added to your plan for free. That's 4 action-packed plan choices, your first chance at the best seats, and a bonus Brewers game free for early buyers. Plus, each pair of a 4-pack comes with a Brewers knit hat. Act now and get this limited time offer at brewers.com/4packs.
Through December 4th, Hassellus Mattress has activated Black Friday Plus additional savings, plus 2 free Remy memory foam pillows on select mattresses. Get a Queen Serta Perfect Sleeper Oakmont A mattress. Others sell it for $14.99, but our price is just $8.88. Others sell the King Sealy Posturepedic Golden Acres A for $17.99. Get it now for just $10.95. Big savings on Beauty Rest too. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hassellus.com.
WTMJ Now.
We are joined in studio by Chef Michael Fecker, talking about Thanksgiving primarily. A caller asked about capons available at Tower Chicken. I think it's on
6 south of Howard.
Yeah, like
by the water tower.
4100 block, something like that. Okay.
By the water tower.
Dorothy and Jose say hi. They took a birthday cooking lesson with you on November 2nd.
I call them J and D. Love you guys.
They're asking about a salmon recipe that you cooked. You can find it where?
Yeah, you can find it at chefecker.com under recipes. Jose and Dorothy, they have the recipe. I printed it for them, and they took it home.
All right. Chris from Brookfield joins us on the phone. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hi. First of all, I just want to say I love the segments when you're on, Chef.
I love you more.
I do have... Oh, thank you. But I'd like to ask, earlier you said that you get the turkeys already with the compound butters and all that stuff, so people can pick them up today and just throw them in their ovens.
Correct.
Do you do that at any time or only Thanksgiving?
I usually do it on Thanksgiving only, but Chris, you want it? You got it. You guys just call the restaurant and you say, this is what I need, this is what I want, and I get it ready for you and you pick it up. It doesn't have to be only for Thanksgiving.
How about that, Chris?
Oh, great. I like that because in my old age, I'm getting very lazy.
All right. And you're getting extra wonderful, though. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, thank you, Chris, for the nice words there. All right, so again, a lot of Nesco questions. Somebody asked, can you prepare duck the same way as you prepare turkey?
It doesn't matter if it's chicken, if it's duck, or it's just a pork roast or a ribeye. Always the same technique.
All right. 414. How do you feel about cooking a turkey in the Reynolds cooking bags, and how would you do it?
Well, Reynolds cooking bag is like any cooking bags, and what I would do is just like I said before, I would finish it in a dry oven. I would start it in the especially if you're going to put stuffing in there, or you're going to put things in there that needs some moisture. I cook it in the bag, then I take it out of the bag. The day of, I roast it in the oven just to heat it up.
All right, so somebody asked this on a text line, and I was talking about this yesterday because we did a show poll on worst sides for Thanksgiving. I was kind of being tongue-in-cheek there because they're all good, right? Somebody went to the trouble of making them.
Right.
How do you make the best, and I'm not a fan of this.
Got it.
Green bean casserole.
Oh, green bean casserole is good if it's done right. So green beans, clean them up. Then again, olive oil, garlic, a little bit of pepperoncini, those red chili flakes in the oil. Toss in the green beans, toss them together. And the green bean casserole, they put it in a container, and then they put it in the oven. I will not do that because that is like double work, and you're going to overcook your greens. So I wouldn't do that. I just do it with olive oil and garlic and a little bit of almonds on top for crunch.
Almonds, not that crunchy onion ring thing.
Well, they do that. That's fine. If I do it, it's different. But I love the crunch concept. That's why we love the crunch, the texture.
I think that's true. Yeah, the texture matters.
Absolutely. I mean, fried chicken. Why do we all love fried chicken? We love the crunch with the moisture.
All right, so we talked a little bit about this at the beginning. Defrosting the turkey.
Yes.
All right, what's the trick that people need to be careful
There is
with?
no trick to defrosting a turkey except patience. Don't wait till the last minute to defrost it. But a lot of you are concerned about, okay, where am I going to put this damn turkey? It's so big. Your garage is colder than the refrigerator. During the Thanksgiving time. Put it in a garbage bag, put it in the garage, and let it defrost. Just make sure it's 6 inches above ground. The reason the health department says 6 inches, because it cannot be reached by rodents, or it doesn't matter what you have in your garage.
All right, pumpkin pie question. How's your pumpkin pie knowledge?
I love pumpkin pies.
All right, I was told to make this is from the 414, I was told to make a filling for the pie one day earlier and kept it in the refrigerator overnight because then the filling would be more savory. Is this true?
Yeah, it is not just savory. The marriage of flavor happens through time. So all the ingredients that you have in your pumpkin pie mixture, they're going to start not dating anymore. They get married. And that's really what you do it. You do it with everything in cooking. Time fixes everything.
Somehow you brought sex into the conversation.
I know.
Chef Michael Fecker.
Because I cook sexy food. What do you expect?
From the 262, not a fan of maple syrup, but need to bring glazed carrots for Thanksgiving. I need to keep them warm in a crock pot because oven warming won't be an option. Suggestions.
1, if you're not a fan of maple syrup, don't use maple syrup. Just use the sugar and then cook it to a caramel consistency, then add your carrots. Or use honey. That's your choice, basically. Second of all, keep it in a small little crock pot, like you said, covered, and then warm it up when you get there.
All right, we got a break here, but before we get to break, you knew this was coming. What's that Mexican spice again?
Who said that?
That is from the 262. How do you spell it?
Tajin. Tajin.
I think people just like to hear you say it.
Yeah, I know that. Tajin.
He is Chef Michael Fecker. Renee, you're next up from South Milwaukee. A question about gizzards.
I love gizzards. Let's do it, Renee.
All right, after the break, Chef Michael Fecker and Steve, WTMJ Now.
More of WTMJ Now after this.
I am a leg man.
Me too.
Hey, I like legs too.
Big curvy ones.
Sleek, skinny ones.
I love a good set of legs.
Like the leg options on the Envy Dining Room Table Collection at Penny Mustard.
Ooh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
The Envy Collection allows you to customize your dining room table with your choice of wood, stain,
size, shape,
edge, apron.
And don't forget about the legs.
I love legs that start thick at the top and get more slender all the way down.
Give me curvy and scalloped all day.
I prefer long, smooth legs with a slight taper at the end.
Oh yeah, like the legs on the Benoit table.
You know it.
These legs are made in the USA.
Yeah, the tables are too.
The Benoit table, starting at just $78 a month with only 1 penny down and no interest till November of 2025 through November 26th at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
Take your home from clean to immaculate. Save up to $100 on select models right now at West Bend Vacuum Center, including central vacuum systems, HEPA vacs, and cordless vacs. Save even more when you trade in your old vacuum. Shop Sebo, Mila, Simplicity, and Riccar vacuums. Don't miss the big sale going on now at West Bend Vacuum Center. For an exclusive pricing on everything through Christmas, visit westbendvacuum.com or call 262-335-2222.
Hey, Sandy Max here. Have you heard about my friends at Three Pillars? They're located on 300 gorgeous nature-soaked acres in Dousman, with over 10 miles of walking and biking trails crisscrossing the Bark River. This serene setting is also home to Wisconsin's top-rated continuing care retirement community. Continuing care means every facet: independent living, assisted living, skilled nursing, and rehab. So whatever you need, Three Pillars is the best, and you deserve the best in your retirement. Learn more at threepillars.org.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good Karma brand station. It's WTMJ Now.
Chef Michael Fecker joining us in studio. A Thanksgiving tune-up for your cooking regimen. That's all. Everyone's going to be facing this story tomorrow and Thursday. All right, so quickly from Renee. You don't have a lot of time, Renee. What's your question?
Really quickly, my mom used to make this homemade dressing with all the insides of the turkey, the gizzards, the neck, the heart, all this stuff. I don't remember how to do it. Is there something you recommend, what organ not to cook, or what spices to use with it when you're cooking and use the toast?
Got it, Renee. So for all the listeners, when you say your mom made dressing, that means the stuffing that was outside the turkey?
Correct.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. So you can use all of them. Remember, the liver is going to cook a lot faster than the heart is, and the neck usually is going to cook, doesn't cook in time. So you usually try to cook all of them separately in a frying pan by cooking them, then chopping them up, and then mixing them with your dressing.
All right, thank you, Renee. Quickly, how do you make the best mashed potatoes?
Mashed potatoes. The amount of butter added to the two potatoes is very important. So you go one third butter. So if you're using 1 pound of potato, you need one third of a pound of butter. Salt and pepper.
That seems like a lot of butter.
Oh my God. You know what? There's a chef called Michel Richard in Switzerland. He's famous for his mashed potatoes. His mashed potato recipe is 50-50. If you think that's a lot of butter.
Where can folks find your recipes?
My recipes are cheffecker.com, CHEF, Fecker, FEKER.com. And then you just click on recipes and the recipe button drops down and you choose what you want.
Somebody asked, where do you find that crazy seasoning you love to talk about?
Tajin is available in all of the Latin sections of all supermarkets now. It's international.
All right. A turkey soup question. So this is something with the leftovers.
Love it.
You boil up the turkey legs in a chicken-based stock, adding the vegetables. My question is, from the 414, white rice, egg noodles, wild rice, what do you...
Well, wild rice, you need to cook it longer, but the whole thing that I want you to remember, you do not boil the turkey legs. The turkey legs is already cooked. You shred it, you chop it, and you wait. You add all your vegetables, everything else to the broth. Last 2-3 minutes, you add your turkey legs. Otherwise, your turkey legs are going to dry out.
All right, what's your favorite side dish on Thanksgiving?
I think stuffing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, stuffing. I love
So
stuffing.
after Thanksgiving, because we always have extra turkey,
right?
I take a sandwich with good bread.
Ooh. I know what you. I already know what you're going to say.
Warm up the turkey, put a little stuffing on there.
Oh yes, sir.
Sometimes a little mayo or butter.
Yeah,
perfect sandwich.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Basically, you have moist bread, and then I would crisp up the toast when I'm making the sandwich on the outside. So you have crisp, you have moist, and then you have protein.
Maybe I'll just come to your house.
That's right. Let's have it together.
All right, you wanted to tell me something before we get out of here.
Oh, yeah. Actually,
Quickly.
I wanted everybody to come to Italy with me. On the 28th of September 2024, we're going to Italy. I'm going to take you to different places of Tuscany and Umbria. Umbria is an area that not too many people go to, but God, you're going to love. I wish Steve was with me.
All right, and we'll see. Next week, we're going to record our holiday special with you, so start thinking about those Christmas ideas and questions.
You got it.
Holidays, whether it's Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's,
Holiday
whatever.
entertaining.
All right.
That's what we want to do.
All right, my producer's giving me the look. We got a break. All right, always fun.
Love you.
All
Bye,
right.
guys.
News is next on WTMJ.
Get ready for Black Friday at Fleet Farm. Doors open at 5 a.m. Friday with a free